All right. There should have been sound that whole time. I was showing levels. Hey, everybody.
Hopefully you hear us now.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we're going to find out if
Every once in a while,
something
something happens where OBS just like does not, it just doesn't have sound, even though you have levels. I don't know why.
Okay. Everyone hears me now. I don't know why there was no sound before. There should have been. I mean, I was showing levels, and it was showing levels directly from my capture card. I don't know. What can I do? I don't know.
Well, we sound awesome.
Okay, good. You gotta let me know if all the levels are exactly the way it should be. And I think that I've recently ran a new wire so that I can try a sound from a completely separate sound card. So I think that he'll be hearing exactly what I'm sending to you, to the stream, but without hearing himself back.
I've been doing that for years.
Yeah, well, you know. Whatever.
Well, that's because I got the USB mixer.
Yeah.
Which I know you sort of have some uneasy feelings about, but I did too for a long time, but then I just bought one and I embraced
it. I see. I want to address really quick. I see Human Drive in the chat saying, "How did your mom misspell your name, Coury?" Because my name is actually Courtney, and I don't really like the name Courtney, and I've always gone by Coury my entire life, basically.
I have seen like once or twice in my life, like one or two other guys with the full name Courtney, but it's uncommon. I honestly did not learn that until what episode was it? There was an episode you did where you like showed your yearbook.
I
photo, and that was the first time I ever knew that, and you were surprised that I never had heard that.
Yeah.
It's really funny. Every once in a while, there's a comment on whatever video that is. There's a comment that says, they'll say like, "Ooh, that's a really unfortunate typo in the yearbook."
Yeah, well, it happens a lot. If I pick up anything if I pick up like medicine or anything from the drugstore, they're like, "Are you the spouse?" And I'm like, "No, that's me." And I have to tell people that happens all the time, because it does happen all the time, and it's always happened in grade school and everything. So what can you do?
I mean, hey, our parents both gave us like a little off the norm spellings of our names.
Yeah.
So what can you say?
It is. I mean, it's okay.
I just noticed that you've got Band-Aid on your
head. Yeah. Right here. So a couple weeks ago,
weeks ago.
Hang on. It's a story. It's a story.
Oh, it's a story.
I changed a toilet in the house. I removed an old toilet and put
I've
a new
heard many
one.
stories about this toilet changing.
But the conundrum is, how do you dispose of an old toilet? You can't just throw it away. I mean, I guess you could, but we chose to keep it and then clean it, and I donated it to the Habitat for Humanity Restore, because they take them, because it was still workable. It just needed to be cleaned up a little bit more. But I cleaned it a whole bunch and took it down there, and the thing.
By the way, I'm envisioning at some point in this story, considering the Band-Aid is on your head, you're like carrying a toilet above your head like Mario 2 style.
I wish it was that cool. It's actually way dumber though. So our Chevy Equinox, it has a hatchback, and opening that up, and what's been happening with it, I cannot figure out why it's happening. I think it's like some sort of mechanical failure, but it will slowly lower. So I was carrying the toilet and going to put it in the back of there, and I like slammed my head on there. It almost knocked me down.
My parents' old Jeep has a similar issue where like it changes depending on the season too. Like I forget whether it's warm or whether it's cold, like one or the other, the trunk will stay open. And the other, they have to have like, my dad calls them alligator clips. I don't know if that's really what they're properly called, but like these like, clips that he just like sticks on there. So when it's open, so it won't fall.
Oh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. But it went down so far and I was carrying the toilet, not looking, and I just like slammed my head into it. And
I've definitely come close to hitting my head in a similar way.
It was severe. And like I had to like brace myself and stop for a little bit because it was very painful. And then it's, for some reason, wasn't like bleeding or anything like that. But over time it started to like swell up and I had like a goose egg there. And then eventually, it just, I don't know, like it's just like really big. And then it like bled a little bit like yesterday. So I put some stuff on it and put a Band-Aid on it.
I still wish you were carrying a toilet over your head.
I wish. I wish.
I have no idea how heavy that would be.
So yeah, we're going to sit back and play a little Magical Hats Turbo Flight adventure.
I've been studying up on I've been studying up on how to read Japanese characters lately, and I was very proud when you showed me the game case that I was able to make out hang on, I've got it paused over on the other screen. Maji Karu Hato no something.
That's good. That's pretty good.
There's kanji at the end of the. Well, see, now that I know, what does it say again? What's the
Magical Hats Turbo Flight?
Turbo Flight. Okay, now
adventure.
that I know what it says, I think I can make more sense of that first part before the exclamation mark. It's food. Is it food? Stylized text is really bad.
I decided that you can have up to 9 lives. I feel like I'm going to go up to 5. I'm going to start it at 5 because I see Chris Cavell is saying it's a frustrating game with an odd history. I had read something saying it was easy, but maybe it's not.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard decap attack is kind of hard, but I mean, I could understand people saying frustrating just because like the mechanics are weird.
Yeah. As far as I understand, it's completely different though than
yeah. I think
the levels are different.
I think the mechanics are the same.
Right. You still have you throw the stuff.
And there's probably like equivalent enemies, but I do think the level layouts are supposed to be different. But visually, it is a more appealing game.
Yes, I agree with you. And not that decap attack is unappealing looking. There is a certain charm to that. I mean, I don't even know what the best word for that would be. Like, I'm gonna say like it's like a gothic kind of look, but it's really not.
I don't think this is Akira Toriyama, but I do believe it is based on either an anime or manga or both.
Like way down in the. Let me fix that. Just my head was sticking out there. All you could see was my Band-Aid on my head. I guess we'll see how I do. I read a review that says if you don't have 99 lives by the time you get to the 4th level, then you're doing something wrong. And I think that is. I don't know. I think it's being like it's a joke. So.
But yeah, this was what was retooled into decap attack. It's still weird thinking of decap. It was for the longest time before I realized that the Japanese version of decap attack was completely different. Like I always thought, like, man, it's like so weird to think of decap attack as being a Japanese game because it doesn't look Japanese at all. So now it makes sense.
This makes sense.
I think the first time I heard of this version of the game was when John Lennon was playing it like a year or two ago.
Oh, really?
No. Is this a small case game or
No. It's got normal sized.
Okay, for some reason I thought it was a small case.
Just seen that coming. So yeah, it's the true Mario 4. Doki Doki decap the hit. But I mean, we'll see how I do here.
I noticed that when those falling blocks fall,
That's
like there's like a frame where they like blink out and then they fall.
I don't know if this game has unlimited continues. I tried to find out, but I couldn't.
That information should be more readily available.
You'd think.
Than it is, because that's something I always want to know.
Yeah.
Have I ever had to retake an MLiG shot because of my dog barking? Not that I recall, but I mean, it's possible. Like, you know, maybe like there was a ring at the doorbell or something while I was shooting, but she's usually very quiet while I'm shooting. Yeah, Sandy's being rowdy. She wants to play.
Well, I thought
she gets rowdy late at night, which means sometimes she can come. So I bring all of her toys and set them next to my couch so I can entertain her and hopefully wear her out. I had my my Wii, actually the Wii Mini, on earlier today because I was double checking that. Did you bring it over there? Bring it over.
I feel like
I'm going
the wrong way.
Making sure all of my connections for like the things that I've got hooked up with like composite and S-Video and whatnot. I was just double checking everything, so I had the Wii Mini on. To be honest, I think it might have been the first time I ever turned it on.
Mm-hmm.
And Sandy immediately like recognized the sounds and was very interested because like way back when we did that, I think I've mentioned it before when we did that, you know, Wii eShop or Wii Shop channel tribute video. She became very interested in the Wii menu because of the cursor going around, and she also was really into how she was really interested in how like the pages turn and stuff. She likes a lot of horizontal movement and like cursors on screen and stuff. She was way into it. And since then, I mean, you know, I don't turn on the Wii or Wii U terribly often, but whenever I do, she like comes running because she recognizes that sound. And she couldn't quite figure out where it was because it was up on a CRT that's really high. So I showed her where it was, but
how do I get up there? I don't understand what's going on here. I don't know if I've just like, oh, well, I guess I can jump on this tree at least. That helps. There we go. How was I supposed to know that?
Good to know. Here, you want to chase this instead? Run low on toys, Sandy. You're going to have to bring them.
There we go.
I mean, I bought the Wii Mini just because I knew I would need it eventually anyway for a Wii 200 series episode.
Mhm.
It's all the way over there. And Tony Galvin just became a YouTube member. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, Sandy. What was I saying? I lost my train of thought, Sandy. Oh yeah, the Wii Mini. So I bought a Wii Mini. I mean, I used one like a while back, just because it's like, well, I know I'm going to need one for the RGB 200 series episode eventually anyway. So I bought it. It was actually a really good deal because it was in perfect condition. I feel like even though they're relatively new, they're always like trashed because they're probably for kids. You know?
Yeah.
But the video game world where I bought it was running a deal on where you could get three Wii games that were up to $10 each.
Mm-hmm.
For free with a purchase of a Wii system. So that was that softened the blow of buying a Wii Mini considerably.
Easy to justify.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like I kind of don't mind the look of the system. Like I kind of like the matte plastic, and the red reminds me of the Famicom.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't hate it. But yeah, I mean, composite only is obviously pretty bad. But anyway, like I've got this side of the room upstairs, the analog room, where I've got like a whole bunch of stuff connected with connections that I don't normally use on my main console. So I've got like extra systems hooked up over there with composite, S-Video, like I've got the HD Retrovision cables over there and the analog DAC and NT Mini and stuff like that. So I can capture like a variety of video signals with little effort. And it was kind of in a state of disarray until this week because I had changed my mind so many times about what I wanted to do with it. And now it's like in really good shape and I can, you know, all of those nice shots that I had in Analog Frontiers Part 1, now I can get those again. Because I want to use in Analog Frontiers Part 2, I do want to use a lot of composite shots and S-Video shots early on, especially. You know, because we are talking more about the original experience and stuff like that in that episode. So
right.
So everything on that end is pretty perfect now. I'm really happy. In fact, I actually ordered, I've got it all hooked up except for I just need an S-Video and audio extension cable, which I got on eBay this week. But I'll have to wait for it. But once I get that, I'll even have a Commodore 64 hooked up with S-Video permanently and able to use at any point.
Not bad.
So I'm pretty happy about that. But yeah, I've got like I can capture like Genesis composite, NES composite, Super Nintendo composite, N64 composite, PlayStation 1 composite, PC Engine composite, like basically without doing anything. I mean, there are a few like where I've got like the HD Retrovision cable run to a Super Nintendo, and I can swap that with an S-Video or composite. But all I have to do is just change the cable that's on the system end. Like I've got all of those cables are just hooked up. And I saw we got a $2 donation from Blade Blur, and since it was from the, I assume it was, oops, crap.
What?
I was trying to pause it.
All right.
I was trying to pause it, and then
there was supposed to be no.
I went away.
Don't know how he was able to do that.
It's okay. I'm sure it was through PayPal. Oh, here. Okay, can I pause it? It just went away. Dang it.
Because I don't think you can actually turn Streamlabs off. That's why I just turned off where I deleted the link from the video or from the channel.
How do I How can I get back to where I can see it? I'm sorry. Oh, okay, there it is. Can I pause? Please let me pause.
Sorry about that. I didn't.
Dang it! I can't, like, I'm trying to use my TV app. And every time. Every time I click off of, okay, there it is. Okay. Here's my notation. Now for a question. It's been 4 years and 5 days since Room Tour 2016. Jeez, that long. Should we wait for 2021 for a sequel? No. I hope not 2021. Wow. I hope not. Because I've shot a good deal of stuff for it. And my room, once I get that Commodore 64, and I've also got a that extension for the Commodore 64, and I've also got a HDMI to SDI converter coming as well, so that I can actually display things on my BVM. Once I've got those things, like my analog room is going to be pretty perfect. Like, I don't think I'm going to change anything in there for a long time, really. The cable management aspect of it, though, I see that mentioned there in the chat. I mean, some of the cable management's amazing. Some of it's not so amazing. The parts that I've been... Huh?
I was just figuring out how to fight this boss.
What is it, Sandy? What do you need me to throw? You want me to throw this lizard? You want me to throw this lizard? Ready? But the part I've been working on has not been such good cable management, but it's because it's going behind this thing that's really close to the wall, so you can't see it anyway, but it is kind of a mess back there. But some things are very meticulously managed. But yeah, hopefully later in this year. It's hard to imagine that it's been over 4 years since then, though. Yeah, so I bought a HDMI switcher that it was not expensive. It was on Amazon. I don't know if it's anything to really recommend, because since I wasn't concerned about 4K stuff, I didn't really care, even though it says 18 gigabits per second and 4K 60 and all that stuff. It says that. I don't know if I trust it. And I don't really have any plans to test it with that, because it's not what I bought it for. But it was pretty cheap. And it has two outputs, 4 in, 2 out. And I mostly got just for the 2 out. And it was not that much. It was like maybe $40-some.
Got him.
But anyway, I bought that so that I could send, I've got like a lag-free HDMI to VGA adapter. Now, I sent that to my VGA Extron Matrix. And I have that going out to several places, including like my nice NEC PC CRT. So I can get like my old PS3 fat. I can go on that NEC CRT. I'm going to use the extra switch dock that I got at Goodwill. I'm going to use that so that I could like put switch on there. I'm also going to like try to see if I have like an extra HDMI that I could like plug like mini consoles or something like that up to it. And then the other output will go to that HDMI to SDI converter, so I can use all those same systems on the BVM.
There we go. I guess it's looking for that
horn.
horn.
What's going on?
Like, I don't know.
Are you looking for another exit?
I was looking for that item. I don't know. Maybe I need a specific item to exit the level. Yeah.
Wait, so you didn't die for when that countdown ended?
No, I think that was an item that I used. Craig Wan is saying, you know, how sometimes you lower your voice pitch occasionally? I always got a kick out of that. You mean when I say like the 4 megabytes, or what did I say? The Duke.
Oh yeah, you did one recently.
With the Duke, I did it with.
Oh yeah, the Duke.
The Duke.
The HDMI switcher I just got. I guess it's technically a matrix because you can select the outputs separately. I mean, I can look it up. I'll post it in the chat, but with the disclaimer of I've barely used it. And I have not tested it with 4K stuff, so I don't know if I could recommend it for that. Let's see.
It's $0, but you gotta say it like the Doomslayer. Is it? I don't know who the Doomslayer is. Is that bad?
Is Doomslayer Doom guy?
Yeah, the Doom guy. That's all I know.
That's pretty good, actually.
Occasionally, I do good voices, I guess. Not very often.
Okay, I'm posting it in the chat. Like it's $50, 51 basically. But that's actually a really good deal for a 2-output switcher, especially if it actually does 4K correctly. I would be skeptical, but if anyone wanted to test it. But all I tested it with so far was PS3. I just tested it running PS3, then to that VGA or HDMI to VGA, and then to that NEC monitor, and it looks awesome.
I think the character sprites in this game look awesome.
I think the HDMI to VGA adapter, I mean, I don't really know how they work because usually you don't even have to power them. Like the one I've got has an optional power input, but it was one that was recommended to me by Dan Kuntz. And he said like he's never actually had to plug the power into it. I have no idea how they work, honestly, those lag-free HDMI to VGA, but they're pretty amazing. I've tried that too, like connecting the OSSC to a monitor, and it does look awesome. Like it looks crazy good, actually. While I'm dropping links to things I've bought before, let me drop a link to that one HDMI to VGA that Dan recommended, because it is pretty amazing. And I'm actually thinking about ordering another.
Wait, what
really
is it?
Really cheap. It's a HDMI to VGA adapter.
Oh, okay.
So for putting something on a VGA monitor.
Right.
This is pretty amazing. I've used it for testing mostly, but now I've kind of gotten a permanent installation. So that way I can play like Switch or PS3, or like a mini console anytime on my NEC VGA monitor.
I adjusted Try's sound just a touch. See if that sounds. If he's
Was I loud?
saying that you're a bit loud, but it sounds good to me. I think. This is an actual Mega Drive game. Okay, so the Super Gaming did a report on this one way back.
Oh.
Yeah, I wonder if I have that issue. I might.
A report?
Yeah. I'm way louder. I can turn myself down.
I mean, maybe you should turn me back up.
Once I get it balanced, I should hopefully never have to really mess with it anymore in the future, even. Now that I'm sending you audio and I never have to adjust what I'm sending you.
Oh, Sean Quinn saying, I just learned of the Pokemon Mini, the smallest cartridge-based system ever. I completely missed it. When was the last time you learned of something you felt like you should have known? Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. And when you said
it sounds
Pokemon
like something
Mini,
that my kids might like.
When you said Pokemon Mini, I thought you were talking about like those Tamagotchi style Pikachu.
Oh yeah, like I had like a Pikachu of it.
Yeah, which I have one of those. Like I didn't really do anything with it. It was just kind of a random Christmas present that I didn't ask for. I didn't really have any interest in it, but I got that year 98. I think it was the same Christmas that I got the Game Boy Color. Cartridge-based handheld.
Interesting.
Let me Google this. Pokemon Mini.
Yeah, I mean that sounds like something that my kids might like.
Is it old? Is it new? Oh yeah. What?
What? Does it look awesome?
Mini game. It's tiny. It actually kind of looks like one of those Tamagotchi things. Is there a Wikipedia Pokemon Mini? There is a Wikipedia article for this. And the image of it is not from Evan Amos. So this might be really obscure.
Okay.
Systems were released in 3 colors: Whooper Blue, Chikorita Green, and Smoochum Purple.
That, you know, my kids always say Chikorita, and I think it's so funny because whenever we're out on a walk or something, I always say that we're looking for a wild Chikorita. I don't know what is so funny about that name to me, but it is funny.
I don't even know what a Smoochum is.
Yeah.
I know what a Whooper and a Chikorita are, but I don't know what a Smoochum is. Let me look up Smoochum. Oh, it's not. Wikipedia doesn't.
What is your favorite Pokemon?
My favorite Pokemon?
Yeah. Even I don't even like Pokemon. I have a favorite one.
Oh, you have a favorite?
Oh yeah.
I mean, back when I played the original Blue, my favorite was I feel embarrassed. I'm trying to blank out the name of the one that used to be my favorite. It's I don't know how you're supposed to say it. Kabutops, the Evolve Kabuto.
Oh, what do you think my favorite one would be?
Your favorite?
If you had to guess. Oh shoot.
Is it one of the original 150?
Yes. I mean, I really don't know any beyond that 150. I mean, I don't even know all that 150, but shoot.
Is it like an obvious one?
I mean, maybe it's obvious. I mean, I feel like it should be obvious.
Is it like, I don't know, like Bulbasaur?
No. My favorite is Snorlax.
Oh yeah, Snorlax is pretty good.
Yeah.
I like Gyarados. Gyarados is good. I really, of like the ones that came after the original first gen, like I really like Sableye.
I mean, that's just like, may as well be like a different language to me.
Sableye's pretty cool. I mean, I gotta be honest with you. I mean, it's been a long time since like I ever felt like I knew who all the Pokemon were.
Yes. Yeah.
Like at one point, like even though I didn't play Gen 2 originally, at one point I still felt like I basically knew all the Pokemon, but that time is long past.
Yeah. I like Snorlax because I just feel like he's like living the good life.
You should have like a giant Snorlax in your basement that you can lay on.
That's probably a good idea. I bet my kids would go for that too.
I'm pretty sure they make them. I'm sure they're expensive though.
I think someone said Dragonite, and I think that Dragonite might be my my son's favorite.
Dragonite's kind of dumb looking, I think. That's just me.
Well, I don't know. There's another one that I like, but I can't think of what it is.
You know, one of the I'm pretty sure it's a original 150. Let me check. Sure.
So I'd say there's 890 now. I'm like, even that number is insane to me. That there's 890.
Which is like why me not being a very hardcore Pokemon fan at all, like do not care and understand like why Game Freak didn't want to put like all the Pokemon in Sword and Shield, because like at some point it's just a balancing nightmare, you know?
Yeah, and it's kind of amazing that it took them this long
to like sort of like pare it back.
Yeah,
but I mean I can understand to the extent that I remember being really disappointed that Pokemon Snap didn't have all 151.
Well, that's different. Like 151 is a heck of a lot different than 890. I mean and let's be honest. I mean, I'm sure all those are not winners.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Of course, like, what do I know? What do I know about Pokemon? I can't.
I will say though that I was really annoyed by all of the Game Freak's lazy blah 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 talk that was going on before Sword and Shield released. But I will admit, like after playing the game, like it is definitely an unambitious game. Like I would have.
Oh, did you finish? You play it?
Yeah.
You finish it?
Yeah, I got for Christmas. Well,
I had no idea that you played it.
I bought it because I had it pre-ordered, but I just gave it to my parents. Was like, just give this to me for Christmas because I didn't have time to play before Christmas anyway. Yeah, I played through it. I mean, but it was fine, but it felt like it began development on 3DS. Like it just.
Jonathan G is that I got through it is never a ringing endorsement. Well, I got through it. Oh, did you like it? Well, I got through it.
No, I mean,
I like the idea of that just being. It's okay. It's like, well, I got through it. That's how you say that you don't really like something. Well, you could say that I got through it. Boy, did I get through it.
But no, I mean it was good enough, but I was definitely hoping for more out of like the first true home console Pokemon game, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
It definitely feels like the environmental geometry and stuff like kind of feels like it was made for 3DS first, to be honest. Like you compare that to, I played Dragon Quest XI on Switch not long after that, and of course I played 2D mode for the most part, but I checked out 3D mode, and it's 3D mode is like super well done on Switch. Like it's shocking, like just how well optimized it is. And like you compare that to Pokemon Sword and Shield, and like Dragon Quest 11 on Switch is just many orders of magnitude above Pokemon Sword and Shield in terms of just, you know, the ambition.
I got one up.
You started playing Dragon Quest.
I started Dragon Quest 11. I guess on Friday night, and then I just played a little bit yesterday morning, and I was doing something else at the same time as I was just like, after I got to a new point where I could, I guess after the intro, and you know the intro is done playing, and you can kind of run around a little bit. I just like did some battling. I really enjoy grinding in Dragon Quest games. There's just something about it that it's very mindless, but it's just fun to do, I guess. And I like the fact that they make it, at least they've probably always done this, or at least they've done it for as long as I can remember, where you can play it with one hand.
Oh yeah.
I love just being able to do that. And you know, with this you have the tactics and stuff, so you just need to hit the button one time and it all.
You could just play it with a left Joy-Con, I guess, if you wanted.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just using the Pro controller.
We got
Yeah, I see the Jonathan G. We have super chats off for this week, like in respect to what is happening in the U.S. Just I guess we didn't really state that out loud at the very beginning.
It's in the description.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, Dragon Quest 11 on Switch is like it's really good. I mean, the PS4 version obviously looks better, but they really smartly optimized the Switch version. It's quite good. I saw someone asking a little earlier if what my thoughts were on Dragon Quest 10 so far, and I have not played any more since I did a little testing of it because I'm holding myself to finishing Analog Frontiers Part 2 before really getting into it. But I was really impressed with what I tried. Like it, I said it last week, it's like what I never dared dream that an MMO could be, which is just like a regular old Japanese RPG, except it's online. Like it really just feels like you're playing Dragon Quest. It's pretty crazy just how straight up Dragon Quest it is.
Well, I'm definitely liking 11 so far, and I knew it was going to be good. There's just something so safe and comfy about Dragon Quest.
Oh yeah. It's just like, there are other RPG series that are similarly, simple and, just the basics, but something about the way Dragon Quest pulls it off is just like better. It's really hard to put your finger on what that is, but it's just good.
Yeah, it just shows how much they believe in their game mechanics, and it's safe. And they always they don't add a lot with each one, but what they do add, I feel, is always welcome. But it doesn't feel out of place.
Do you have your second party member yet?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean that happens right after the intro.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's like after that waterfall bit, isn't there an intro?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love when stuff like that happens. I love intros like that where it's it's like 2 hours of game, and then it goes in, and then it like has like the credits.
I love
that kind of
stuff.
stuff.
Wow, like you've been playing for a bit, but you only just got started.
Yeah, but even it doesn't have the. I mean, I guess it doesn't have the kind of impact it used to, but I still appreciate it. It always brings a smile to my face.
I saw someone asking if we started Xenoblade.
Oh, mine actually
on
hasn't come yet. It
Switch.
should be here tomorrow. But
Yeah, I haven't ordered it yet, actually, but I do intend to get it.
you didn't love it. You didn't really like it that much. I mean,
But
you liked it, but you.
I mean, I liked it, but I felt like other people liked it more than I did. I feel like that happens to me a lot. Like,
But maybe it's been.
I always feel like I have a hard time expressing my opinions on those games.
And you didn't
because,
like the second one. You didn't like the second one so much you got rid of it.
Yeah,
But you did like.
I did like X.
Yeah.
I liked Xenoblade Chronicles X, which is not the most popular game, but I thought the battle system was incredibly good. Incredibly good. Difficult to wrap your head around at first, but once it clicks, it's just like the best thing. No, I mean, I liked the first, but like, sort of a similar example. Like, I always feel like when I talk about my opinion of like Secret of Mana or something like that, like I might come across as like I don't like it, and I do. Like, with the in the mini episode from this past week, I was saying that like Secret of Mana is a game that kind of took me a while to come to a fuller appreciation of. But at the same time, I feel like people almost hold it in too high a regard because it's like any mana game that doesn't do exactly what Secret of Mana does, well, it's not going to be as good as Secret of Mana.
Right.
It seems like what it always comes down to. And I'm always frustrated by that because it's like I think Secret of Mana is very good, but I don't think it's like infallible.
Yeah. See, Jonathan G is asking if I'm going to try out PSO2 on PC. I mean, I have it on Xbox, so I'm sure it is a free to play game. So I'm sure I can just play it on the PC in the same way. Is it confirmed if you keep your characters, if their characters are usable in between platforms? I think that my Xenoblade didn't come because even though Amazon delivers on Sundays, the thing is that I ordered it from Best Buy, and they always ship UPS. But I mean, I would like to, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I haven't played the Xbox version nearly enough either.
Best advice for Secret of Mana for someone who has never played?
Have played Secret of Mana?
For someone who has never played Secret of Mana, I mean, don't let the Dwarf Village have a impact on your opinion of the soundtrack, because I hate the Dwarf Village music, and I feel like that's one of the reasons that like I've always like been a little about the soundtrack, because like that is just so bad that it always stood out in my
I mean,
memory.
it is that part is bad music for sure, but there's so much other good stuff. In it that...
And I don't get, like the last time that I played through Secret of Mana, I was like, okay, this is a really good soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
And I bought the soundtrack. Like there was a Square Enix reprint not long ago.
Of the soundtrack
Of Secret of Mana, yeah.
Interesting. So I wonder if, but it's not the same soundtrack as I have.
No, it says Square Enix on it.
Yeah.
It's
I wonder if the soundtrack I have is worth more.
Probably. I mean, I imagine it's the same thing.
It is, but I mean, it's the one that was the SquareSoft sold back in the day, where it was. I mean, it was when soundtracks weren't even a thing in the U.S.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's just an example of a game that like I feel like everyone holds in this like super high regard that's like infallible, and I'm like, oh, you know, it's good. But like, I always feel like when I express my views on those games, that everyone just like loves through and through, and I'm like, yeah, it's good. Like, I always feel like it comes across as me saying like, I don't like it. And it's the same thing with like Xenoblade Chronicles, because like I remember, you know, again, it was, I think it may have almost been a similar situation to Seiken Densetsu 3, where we didn't get it, and for it looked for so long like we weren't going to get Xenoblade Chronicles, and everyone was saying like, this is like the best RPG in like a decade,
right?
And like, I was like, yeah, it's good. So it always made me feel like,
I like that there's just like nothing behind that thing that's moving. It's just like black. It's just like a black void. It's eating the world. It's eating time and space behind it.
But I feel like, though, I might appreciate Xenoblade 1 more now than I did back at that time.
Right.
Because I feel like that was a period of time where I think like I was maybe a little more critical of, you know, games. Like I mean, I think always, I think generally liked what I played, but I was like much more thinking of it like, you know, with a critical eye, like, you know, what are the flaws here? You know, and now I'm just like, hey, look at that. That's neat. Isn't that neat, Sandy? That's neat. Look at Magical Hat. That looks like fun. But see, back in the day, I probably would have thought like, well, Magical Hat doesn't have really that interesting of level design. But now I'm looking at it, I'm like, that looks fun. I'm much more easygoing in my old age, aren't I, Sam?
This is the fact that there's enemies inside those things you pick for the power-ups is so annoying to me.
See, you know, that might make a 2 out of 5 star game on my backlogger. You know what I mean? Back in those days, like I haven't given a game a star rating, and I couldn't tell you how long on my backlogger. Like I'm just not that interested in that kind of thing anymore. You know?
Yeah.
But like back in the day, like when Xenoblade was new, like I just, you know, I think I was just a lot more critical.
Yeah. Sean Quinn's got an interesting question there.
Huh?
I said Sean Quinn's got an interesting question.
I'm a completionist, but when it comes to buying the last season of Game of Thrones, I couldn't do it and sold all my previous seasons. Have you ever had an event that made you question the completionist lifestyle?
All the time. I mean, there's a lot of times where I guess it
depends on what you mean by completionist.
Like if you like to have an entire series, would you ever like get rid of certain games or something like that?
Oh,
I mean, that's definitely the case with me. But in terms of like, I mean, Game of Thrones is a great example because, I mean, the final season, I really enjoyed the first 2 episodes of the final season. But then after that, it was just kind of ended on such a whimper that it's interesting to see how little people even talk about it at this point.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess that there was a point where I just stopped getting like I have no problem not having the entries of a series that I don't really like. But sometimes I do like, I just have them just because why not?
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, I mean, I there's only a few series where I like really, you know, made a special effort to get all of them. Like, you know, I got all the Kirby games.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't own like all the Japanese versions or nothing, but I do own the one Japanese exclusive, which is, you know, people call it Superstar Stacker. You know,
right?
I forget what the Japanese name actually is, but like the only reason I really bought Dr. Mario 64 back when it came out was because, and really the same with Mario Party 3. Although I did have more expectation of playing Mario Party 3 than I did, because me and my friends played a lot of the first two games and we just didn't play that much of 3. But like that was the main reason I bought Mario Party 3 and Dr. Mario 64, was because I just so happened to have picked up every single Mario related N64 game up to that point. And so it was like, well, I can't stop now. But I mean, of course, those are, you know, good games. You know, they aren't like bad or nothing. A lot of people love Dr. Mario 64. Dr. Mario 64 is weird because it like it like all of the characters in the game are from like Wario Land 3. Like it's just really random. Yeah, Dr. Mario 64 was really late. I mean, that was... I want to say that was the last game I bought before the GameCube. I mean, the last N64 game, anyway. I might have got, like, a used copy of Mischief Makers around that time. Well, I think that was the last, you know, brand new N64 game I bought.
Ah, shoot.
I remember the game felt oddly heavy as well. I don't think I've ever opened it up, but I've always been curious why it's heavy.
Connor Terry keeps on asking about the Super Gun episode. Is not completely in production yet. We have a lot of material for it, but it is not being edited yet. I have a number of things that I'm working on right now. I'm doing my best to actually have an episode out like midweek on something that's unexpected. And then I kind of laid it out a little bit the other day in the Discord about like what my plans are. Where I have this surprise episode. I'm not gonna spoil what it is. Hopefully it'll only take me a couple of days to do. And I, mean, I feel like it needs to get out quickly because I wouldn't expect anything long from it, but it's going to be scripted. Yeah, it's going to be scripted, and I think it's going to be kind of neat for some people. Yeah, it's something that I want to learn a little bit more about myself because I have not set up a particular system to do this very cool thing just yet. Yeah. Now, the screenshots you've been showing me are awesome. It's kind of a video quality thing. So I'm sure people who have been sick of us doing ad-lib videos on PS4 games. Well, not only that, I'm pretty sick of like editing the ad-lib episodes for a little while. I gotta be honest. After this most recent one, I was just like, I just want to do something else for a little while. And something that's like it can be scripted but not super long like the controllers episode was. So I would expect something that's like maybe 15 minutes or so from this, but I think that it's going to be out midweek. That's my plan. And that sounds really ambitious to me, but it does. I mean, it doesn't. It doesn't. You have to believe that it's possible. I believe that it is possible. Well, then go I mean, I already have my outline, and I've been doing some research and stuff on it. And it's not gonna be crazy. It's not gonna be crazy, but if you have access to the specific thing, this most recent development that came about in the last couple of months is a bit of a game changer for this particular device and the ability to do this stuff with it. So I think it's gonna be fun to do. I feel very ambitious about it, and I'm gonna do it in a way where I am gonna try to do like bits and pieces of it at a time. You know, I'm gonna
Corey
record.
doesn't want to say what it is.
I don't want to say what it is yet.
He doesn't want. He wants you to be surprised.
Yes. I've been saying recently that I want to stop sharing exactly what the next episodes are going to be. Oh, I just went all the way back to the end of the level. Good.
Is RGB 101 for your terrible eyes? I mean, RGB 101 is not something I want to look at very often anymore.
No.
It makes my eyes and ears and stomach feel terrible.
Well, that's it, not only that, but the episode that I want to do for this week is it harkens back to like another RGB episode. And I watched that kind of in preparation for it. And I was like, oh. It's just like I forgot about doing green screen stuff, and I look at it now, it's like, oh, I don't really like the green screen stuff at all
Yeah.
anymore.
It's funny. My old boss stopped by my house.
Really?
Like when like right when technically, North Carolina said you could. Because he needed something shot on a green. He needed to shoot. I mean, he didn't really need it because other people were, there was something that he was like hosting like a pre-recorded event.
Mm-hmm.
And other people were sending in their clips, just, record on their phone. And, he was a TV news guy. He couldn't. he couldn't settle for that.
Right.
So he asked, like, if he could come by and if I could shoot him doing his lines on the green screen. I said, sure. That was the first time I'd used the green screen, probably like, I don't know, 2 years maybe?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we haven't really used it.
Yeah, it's been a while. And just seeing this makes me realize that like I don't miss it.
Yeah,
at all.
I don't miss it either. Like I do not miss it either. But he wanted a green screen. So I said, okay. I can do that. I mean, I didn't have to do anything with it. Someone else was editing it. He just wanted to use my home studio.
I gotta stay behind this dude.
He's come by and recorded voiceover and stuff at my house before. We're talking about the How to Beat guy, by the way. For anyone who's wondering. Because you've said before, like, oh, we probably couldn't get like anything recorded for How to Beat. I mean, we absolutely could.
See, now this guy looks like something out of Decap Attack. I don't know what's going on with that.
I can see that.
Breath of the Wild has some questions about a Extron.
Ooh, did I?
It's just...
I've been playing with Extrons today, making sure all my connection. I was very proud of everything being. Actually, I did locate one mistake where I had for some reason the NES audio input was plugged into an output and something else was screwed up. So I'm glad I double checked everything before pushing the Extrons back. Any tips for hooking up Extron C crosspoints output to an OSSC? Can I just use the BNC to mail SCART breakout cable to the Extron CP2? So, I mean, apparently, we've never tested on an oscilloscope or anything. But what we understand is that most Extron cross points output a TTL level sync voltage, which is like more than like you should send to like a non-professional video device. Like if you're just sending it to a PVM, that's fine. If you're sending it to an OSSC, apparently it's possible that sending that level of voltage could cause harm to the OSSC. So your output cable should either have resistors inside to bring it down to an appropriate voltage level, or I was actually looking on the Retro Access website the other day because I think I need to buy 2 or 3 things off of there. But they're on vacation until I think next Sunday.
Jeez.
But I believe they sell, I don't know what section of the website it's under, but I believe they sell like just an adapter, like a BNC adapter that has like the resistor built into it so you can attenuate your sync lines that way. But that is not a problem for if you're using the Extron for component. Like it's only an issue on the sync lines. But since component uses sync over the Y/green cable, it doesn't. But for RGB, obviously, you need that external sync in most cases. So, yeah. So does it seem like you've got infinite continues, or do you just have a lot of lives?
I just have a lot of lives.
How many lives do you have?
Well, I'm probably using up all of them. I mean, I don't understand why I'm fighting that guy. And I gotta fight this thing.
What, I mean, I wonder if Decap Attack has just as many lives.
I don't know. No, I just
guy
got
really
a game
does
over.
Look like he's from Decap Attack, though. Uh-oh. Is that your first?
Yeah, it's my second. Oh, but I think there's unlimited continues, but it sends you back to the very first area of the world. So I'm getting chased by the Langoliers thing again. It's just eating up time and space reality behind me. I think I used up a lot of lives on stupid stuff, though. Just like on enemies that were hidden in inside the statues.
We've signed a few frame meisters. Well, have we ever signed an OSSC? I don't think we have.
We haven't, no.
I don't know. We probably signed like what, maybe 5 frame meisters.
I want to say I think it's like only 3 or something.
Yeah. You can count them on one hand, but it's been a few.
And so I saw someone sold theirs on eBay at one point too.
Oh yeah. I've also signed.
See, look, it's like the void behind it. It's eating everything.
I've also signed a Sim City for Super Nintendo for some reason. Did we sign like a Super Nintendo or something at some point? I feel like we did.
Super
I
Nintendo.
feel like I feel like
we signed an
signed
NES, but that was just like a whole bunch of. people
Oh
signed
yeah,
it
maybe
too.
it wasn't NES.
There was one comment today that was like, what was the one that was like the comment about saying these. Pardon my language. It was like these two balding assholes are the reason that the people can't get PVMs.
I was looking for that comment. I couldn't.
I'm like,
find it.
excuse me, I'm not balding. I am bald.
Did you say that?
No, but I. I mean, if you're gonna if you're gonna say that I'm balding and try to like if it's like a knock on me, it's like that doesn't get me anymore.
So funny
Sorry.
Are the comments that are like episodes that have both of us in it, and almost always like we're both going to be in the video pretty early on because one of us will do the cold open,
right?
and one of us the other picks up after the open. But sometimes there are comments that are like, I mean, actually relatively often, there's comments that's like, I can't stand this guy's voice. I can't stand how much this guy moves around when he talks.
Yeah.
I can't stand, this or that. This guy looks so ugly. This guy looks so stupid. And I just think it's hilarious because, like, sometimes we'll get those comments on episodes that might be one of us, or sometimes we'll get those on episodes where it's two of us. And I'm always like, well, is it me or is it Coury? Like, I don't like.
Yeah, who's the one? Who's the problem this time?
It's funny, Sandy. It's funny. They just can't stand us, but I don't know who.
But I mean, I cannot imagine being that preoccupied, like on a video, like I can't watch it because of somebody's like voice or. I mean, I guess like voice makes sense, I guess, in some aspects, but like, what was the one is recently where it's like, show the game, we don't want to see your ugly faces.
Yeah.
Or something, and it's like you realize that this is. I think it was on the Final Fantasy VII video, and you realize that we are like barely actually in the video when you actually watch it.
Like they never want to see the ugly nerd's face.
Yeah. I mean, sorry.
Yeah, Cheesemeister. I was talking about that just earlier today, actually. Like. Everyone knows that, like, like hearing my own voice is terrible, but like you running a YouTube channel, like you just get so used to hearing your own voice. Like it's like not weird to me anymore.
Yeah, you get used to it after a while. Oh, well, there's Jonathan Hinson going with the the
stealth donation.
Yeah.
What's up, guy? No questions. No, I just want to say, hey, what?
Thank you. Thanks.
Well,
Jonathan, you must have that bookmarked. Or is in his
Chad,
history?
Chad Alderman, Coury and I have been to Lost Ark, but just one time. We actually went there
after we got done hoarding PVMs.
No, before we
got around
the
hoarding PVMs for the day.
Yeah.
So that nobody else could buy them.
Yeah. No, it was when we were on our
5
way
years
back
ago
from Raleigh. Couldn't have been 5 years ago.
Yeah, it was after we shot limited run games. I guess
it was after we shot limited run, which was I guess probably like coming on 4 years ago, maybe.
Yeah,
probably.
Maybe more than that.
It's
honestly
crazy to think about. I was like in their old, like they've moved offices twice since then.
Yeah.
But we were on our way back from Raleigh and we stopped at Lost Ark, and then we went to this place in Elkin, North Carolina, to see if they had PVMs because we had heard about this place. and we got the very first. Well, no, you had your 20L5 then.
Right.
But it was my very first 20-inch PVM. And we also got one for Game Dave as well.
That's right.
Who, like a few weeks later, stopped by my house on his way to Myrtle Beach.
I mean, that's a while ago now. I mean,
Pick it up. Yeah, it was. So, but yeah, so that was the one time I have been to. There are a number. There are a number of retro game stores, like in the Charlotte area. So I tend to not really get up to Greensboro very much. My retro game needs tend to be met pretty well around here. My retro shopping needs. We did see the Game Chasers movie trailer featuring Evil Game Dave. I've been looking forward to seeing that action in action. And I knew Joe Redifer was going to have a little part in it, but I was surprised to see him in the trailer.
I guess is that it? I beat that guy, but I wonder if it even matters.
Hmm? Oh, I must be behind a ways because he's just now appearing. Oh, okay. So you can walk under that pink waterfall power thing.
Right.
That doesn't seem hard. What was funny was when Retrotech Steve was over here, you know, thinking about that PVM adventure. You know, you and I stopped at the Show Mars in Huntersville on our way back from picking up, you know, having that Ford Focus full of 20-inch PVMs.
Yeah.
And we stopped at the Show Mars and ate there. And then went to Video Game World. And Steve and I were on our way back from Matt's place. You know, did the same thing. And I had brought my 20L5 there so we could like compare it to Matt's, and also like we thought we might have time to recap, but we didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the only other time that I had ever been to that particular Show Mars location. And so I realized when I was telling him about that, I was like, I think he was the one that said it. He's like, so you've only ever eaten here with PVMs in tow. It's just,
yeah, like actually, it's true.
It's true. So maybe I should go back to Lost Ark, because maybe going to Lost Ark.
But didn't you say that Lost Ark was the place that bought all the ones from the place?
Or someone maybe said. Someone said.
Oh, someone said that. Yeah, in the stream last week.
But maybe going to Lost Ark portends PVM halls, is what I'm saying. Steve says, "Yeah, my last good meal in public."
Yeah,
probably
not wrong.
Yeah, that's true. Sadly.
feel like if I just take the game slow.
But the problem is, like, you got to build momentum to make.
Not as much. I'm not noticing it that much in this.
Not as much as like Psycho Fox.
Definitely not as much as Psycho Fox. I mean, there is definitely some one-ups happening.
How do you get them?
You get them from these mini games.
It seems like that one mini game with like the 5 paths.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like you get to the end of every path almost every time.
I think it all has to do with how many coins you pick up during the levels, and then everyone will split up, and you can lay down a total of 5. I've never won this game though. Every time I've lost.
Yeah.
I got 11 lives.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Apparently you should have 99 though.
I know. But I could see maybe now that you know how to play it, or that I know how to play it, like it probably could go. I mean, I wouldn't have 99 lives, but.
Do y'all have a favorite specific piece of hardware to play GBA games on the go? The screen on the DS Lite is great, but the D-pad is a bit mushy. Personally, my go-to is the AGS 101. But I know, some people just cannot stand. Some people think that screen.
Well, I really want to give the new IPS screens that are out there a try, because I've heard of they're very good.
Yeah, some people think that screen is the most amazing thing, and some people think is the most horrible thing. Personally, I love it. I'm not that bothered by the ghosting issue. But I am looking forward to seeing how the Analog Pocket screen compares. The only bummer with that is I believe the screen is sized for original Game Boy game aspect ratio, if I'm not mistaken. And so that means that GBA is going to be letterboxed, I think. When I originally read the screen resolution for the Analog Pocket, I did my math wrong and thought that it was going to be perfect integer scale for GBA with original Game Boy pillar box. But I don't think that's the case. I think GBA is going to be letterboxed.
I think the music in this game, especially on this level, sounds like a mystical ninja.
Oh, really?
Like a Goemon music, yeah. And if you
did you ever fish Goemon 2?
I didn't. I really need to get
should.
back to it. There is a lot of stuff that I just need to get back to and finish. Yes.
Yeah, I've got a number of games that should be quick beats that on my to finish list that I really need to just get around to.
I know. See, I had 5 coins and I was able to put a guy on every single track here. So it's like 1 up, 1 up, 1 up, 1 up, 1 up, 1 up. It's like we are getting a lot of extra lives here. Oh, there's another. There's another Jonathan Henson donation.
It's okay if a few sneak in. Sorry if already mentioned. Jeremy Parrish posted a video today of a 3DS Direct capture mod. Is this something new? I was not aware. Did you see this video?
I didn't see this.
Well, let me look it up. I assume this is on the Retronauts YouTube.
No, it's probably on his own.
Oh, Toasty Frog. Oh, okay, yeah, this is where like the NES works and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, let me see. What is this? Etrian Odyssey 3DS Direct Capture Mod Test. Does he talk in this video, or is it just a test?
I mean, if it's something that he doesn't mention what it is, I'm sure we can ask him.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't talk in this video. Is in the thing in the description. A quick test run for my 3DS capture system featuring 30 minutes of one of the all-time greats. No, I don't know what it is. Did he put on his Twitter what it is?
I don't know.
Looking.
I guess the point is just to go and try to get as many of these statues as possible. Because I have 15 lives now. Sometimes I can take more than one hit. I don't know what it is that allows me to take more than one hit. Though.
Yeah, I don't see a mention of.
I could always ask him.
Yeah, I'm curious. Probably nothing new, I'm guessing. I'm guessing maybe he got in contact with someone who already had one of the pre-existing options. I'm assuming that the European Murky is probably long out of stock. Yeah, that was a really fun video. The 3DS video. Like, it was just different. Like, it was sad that, like, here's this video about, like, hey, there's really no good solution right now. But, like, it was a different approach to making a video. I just kind of enjoyed it because it was more taking a viewpoint of, like, well, here's what we'd like to see. Here's what's possible now, but not really.
Alright, so I gotta find this item. You gotta find an item on the last level. And this is like, I've already beat the boss, and I gotta find this stupid thing. Please be one of these. Come on, I guess not. It's stressful because I don't want to die and then have to fight the boss again.
Are you playing on your regular Genesis?
I am, yeah. I'm assuming that it's down here, the thing I'm looking for.
There's more exploration in this than I thought there might be. I wonder if Decap Attack has the same sort of exploration.
I don't know.
I was not aware that third-party PSP component cables existed. So I've not tested any. I mean, the PSP's video output is, like, not particularly high quality, but I think that's just the way it is.
Right.
Will we ever stream a Monster World game?
We should. I don't think we ever have we? Which is unbelievable to me.
You streamed, like, on the Twitch channel, a bit of Monster Boy. Yeah, it's kind of crazy to think that maybe we never have, because it's like one of our favorite things.
Come on, where is this stupid thing?
I mean that's a good idea. Like I would love to just play Wonder Boy 5, Monster World 3.
Just to play it and get
Just
a
to
like
play
like
it.
a like
yeah,
further
because
in
it's
it.
been I haven't played through the whole thing. Like I've not played more than like an hour into it since I got it on the virtual console. You know,
There it is. It's all the way back to the beginning of the level.
You know, I beat it back then, but you know, I've not played much of it since. So that would be fun. It's a good idea.
I gotta get all the way out of here without dying.
An idea for next week's stream? I don't know if it would be next week, but
I mean, it could be.
it could be. Just depends on what I feel like. I mean, usually I decide early in the day, and you know.
I guess we're having a hard time figuring out what to stream. That's the answer then.
Yeah. I mean, what are the HyperCAN HDMI cables? Did they do anything, or are they just HDMI cables? Oh, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the classic, like the old system HDMI cables. For some reason, I was thinking like, oh, is this like a M cable thing? Yes, I've tested one of them, and it's the exact same thing as like pound level hike. We need to do. I mean,
Yeah, well, we want to include the Rad 2X in there because
that's
those
right.
are
That's right.
very difficult to get
Yeah, that's right. I keep forgetting that we were
at
kind
this point.
of waiting
There
for
we go.
that is an option for that video, because otherwise, like, nothing in that video is really a positive thing. No, I mean, yeah, I mean the thing is they just use a really basic. All of those cables just use a really basic conversion chip in a really basic way. The Super Nintendo ones are the worst of the bunch. The others, like, sometimes if like the screen's not moving, they look pretty good.
Mhm.
But then they do unnecessary de-interlacing. So like when you move, I mean, for one, that's adding lag, and for two, when you move, you'll see like the image will get sort of smudgy because it's trying to de-interlace it, and then when you stop, like it'll wait a second, it'll still look smooth, and they'll like snap into sharp visuals because of how the de-interlacing works.
Right.
So no, they are not like very precisely designed things. I mean, instead of buying those, like, I mean, if you just wanted like a starter HDMI solution, like, you know, Coury mentioned the Rad 2X, but I don't think you can really get your hands on those right now. Of course, there's also the Retrode 2X, you know, Classic or Pro, you know, and you can hook many systems up to that with composite S-Video HDMI. I mean, that's always my go-to, like, starter solution. But, you know, even the OSSC is not that expensive at this point either. Like,
It's true.
Like,
Oh, there's another Streamlabs donation. I don't know how people are finding it.
It's okay. Oh, thank you, JC fan.
Thank you.
You guys have seriously helped me get back in touch with my true self by showing me how to play the games I grew up on the way they were meant to be played. Thanks so much for your content, and please keep doing this for as long as you possibly can. Well, we will endeavor to do so. Thank you for the kind words. You know, speaking of you know, keeping on doing what we're doing, and the opposite of kind words, there was a funny comment that I read today. Let me see if I can.
This wasn't the one from the other day that you. I'm glad you responded to the one about the new video. Oh, what is there?
Oh yeah, well that one. I mean, that one got a nice reply. But there was a comment on the video titled "Useful ROM Hacks for Retro Games: Restorations, Fan Translations, Colorizations, and More." Well, we got a comment that says, "Thumbs down. I thought this was a list. This is a freaking documentary. Misleading title." I got a little
this thing is
laugh out
rough. I don't. Why is there even a boss already?
Got a little laugh out of that.
Myself more comfortable. I'm surprised there's a boss already. I meant the one that the other day was like about the new video saying like this is more fluff content.
Oh, well, yeah, but that
And
like
I mean,
I replied just explaining like, you know, just reinforcing, you know, hey, we're not stopping making scripted content.
Right.
The next several episodes will be scripted anyway, and you know, it's just.
Well, I'm glad you responded to it because you were a lot nicer.
That was just someone who was concerned that we, you know, were maybe getting away from our, you know.
Yes. But didn't explain that until like after you had already responded so much.
Right. And he said, you know, replied saying, "I love this challenge, just don't want to see it, you know, go downhill." And I said, "Don't worry."
Well, clearly,
really,
people don't really care what we have to say about modern games very much, and that's fine. We didn't expect. We didn't expect it.
We just did those episodes for ourselves, really. I mean,
Yeah.
they performed terribly, and we didn't expect them to do well. But you know, we just wanted. You know, it's fun to play through a game knowing that you're going to like be able to talk about it, and like even just talking about the game amongst ourselves, like before we even record the episodes, you know, it's just been so long since you and I, like maybe almost since Breath of the Wild, where we were like playing a brand new game at the same time and could like talk about it. You know?
Yeah. Oh, come on. It's not even that hard. It's just
You just can't be greedy. Don't be greedy and.
I wasn't. I was too close to underneath them. You know, the whole like I just ran out over an edge and I'm gonna fall down. He does that. He like pauses in place and like looks down and starts trying to get back to the edge. Like I'm sure I could probably. Yes, I guess it lets you kind of do it, but it's like cute the first few times they happen. So then after that, it's like oh.
I mean, I think S video is worth praising. I mean, you know, we didn't know about RGB back in the day. You know, we didn't have HD Retrovision component cables to use with Super Nintendo. And we didn't have RGB mods or HDMI mods, you know, back in the day. You know, I mean, in America anyway. So, you know, we didn't have RGB. So S video was a huge upgrade. And two, you know, a lot of people who have CRTs may not have you know, component inputs on those CRTs. I mean, that came much later.
Yeah.
So it's an important thing to have access to, or is an important option. I mean, yeah, I don't use it a lot today. I don't use it for any reason other than like, you know, producing the show. You know, if I need to use S video for a specific reason, but it's still good.
I get this guy now. I'm not gonna get greedy with him there. It's interesting though that there's already a boss on this level.
But that's that's why I spent all that effort having some of my extra systems permanently set up with composite and S-Video.
Right.
Because I feel like those signals have often been not given as much attention and representation in our videos as they could. When composite and S-Video are signals that people do use and rightly so. And I would like to be able to show that more often in videos. So that's why I made that special effort to just make it so that we can do that as often as possible. And two, it just lets me like
each of those items you get a 1-up for them. So I guess
like they're different colors though.
Yeah. Oh, we got another Void Eater behind me.
A Void Eater?
I don't know. Like I was just.
And was it Mario 3D Land or was it one of the new Super Mario Brothers games? I can't remember. They had like a similar thing where there's like this like when Drum and Lynn and I played, we called it the Nothing. It was like, oh, the Nothing's coming.
I mean, this is similar. I said it's like the Langoliers. You ever
I just can't remember if it was 3D World or.
You ever see that old TV movie, The Langoliers, the Stephen King movie? You watch it now, and it has like some of the earliest like CG, and it looks like complete crap. It's like this group of people are on this plane, and they go through some sort of like wormhole and go back in time by like just a like. I don't know, like.
Oh, I think I've heard of that story.
And these things like eat the past or something like that. Oh, come on! It's like intense there, but it's the CG is really bad in it.
Man, I'll tell you what is maybe the worst CG I've seen.
Reptile in Mortal Kombat.
Was that Mortal Kombat 1 or 2?
1. I mean, 2 has like really atrocious CG too.
I don't really remember the CG in 1.
It's just Reptile. He turns into he's like this lizard. But I mean,
no, I guess that. I mean, I watched Event Horizon not that long ago.
Which is a pretty good movie.
Is it? Is it?
I remember it being pretty good.
It's on your Vudu. I can't remember if I watched it there or if it might have been free on Amazon.
You probably watched it on the Vudu, I'm guessing.
I can't remember where I watched it, but I think it was on the Vudu. I watched it a couple of months ago, and like the CG is so bad in that that like they have like tools like wrenches like kind of floating and in space and like the freaking wrench looks fake and like really fake.
Oh, like, there it's like leaving.
Like, how do you make like a bad looking CG wrench?
I don't know. When did it come out? 1995?
It was, I think, 97.
Oh, well, that's the same director as this Mortal Kombat movie.
Was it? Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was not impressed. I was not impressed.
Yeah, I mean, they probably thought it looked good in 1997.
if I saw it in 1997, I probably would have thought it looked good too. Because I was really on the the CG bandwagon back then. Like I loved CG special effects. Like I like at one point, like that's kind of what I wanted to do. Like I wanted to like learn to make CG special effects. That was like seriously something I considered like as a career path when I was in high school. I was like, I want to be a CG special effects artist. And yeah, so I was really into it, but like I'm much more impressed by practical effects these days.
Yeah, I think that is true for a lot of people.
But I was way into, I mean, the stuff that the Star Wars prequels were doing, like it looked nothing about it looked fake to me at the time.
Oh. That's surprising.
It looked completely real to me.
like in the same way that Mario 64 looked real to you.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, did you not think so when you saw episode 1?
I knew that it like did not look that good at times.
Really?
I mean, there's times where it does look good.
Really? Like I mean, that movie.
I was in college though. I mean, it was different. It was like I was a different age than you.
Yeah. Like I was. Gosh, what year did that come out? 99?
No, you're making me fight another boss.
I think it came out in 99. So
look at this thing.
I would have been like 15. Wow, that thing it's got.
It's so weird.
It's like it needs to see a doctor.
It needs to see a doctor.
Like there are many things wrong with
it. It's like the tongue comes out and opens its hat so it can shoot a laser gun. So the laser gun doesn't shoot the top of his hat off. I mean, that's literally what it's doing. Right? It's like lifting its hat up so that it can shoot. That's great.
Well, like when you saw the Matrix Reload, like the 100 Smith fight, like
I knew
incredible, right?
No, I knew that didn't look very good. And there's that shot at the beginning when he first flies up, and it's just like I was well into college at that point, and like I could I knew that it was.
Like,
I mean, it's. I think they just look like plastic. I thought they looked like plastic at the time. It was cool to see it, what it was doing, but at the time I knew that it was. It's like, oh.
Drum and I talk about that a lot, like how, like when we first saw that was like literally the coolest thing we had ever witnessed in our lives.
Well, no, I think the effects in the first one are so much better than the ones in the second one.
And
because they're mostly practical.
But you go back to it now, and it like looks so bad.
Yeah, I knew it was bad.
Oh, at the time, like that fight was like the coolest thing I'd ever seen. Like it was unbelievable. It's so bad now.
No, I mean I knew it was like it was cool. Jeez. It was cool. It was exciting at the time. But you look at stuff like the freeway is way better than that fight. The whole freeway scene is a billion times better because that's mostly practical. Like they built a whole section of a freeway to film on.
Like, I mean, obviously you were impressed by Jurassic Park.
Oh yeah, but I mean
when it came out, but like
I still think that it looks pretty impressive.
It does look good. I think.
But the reason it's so good is because it so seamlessly mixes practical with CG. Like it goes back and forth.
They used CG only when they had to.
Yeah.
Like it was tastefully and artfully used.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's why one of the things I like about Terminator 2 so much too. They use a lot of CG, but it's done in such a way that it is.
I mean, I don't think that the liquid metal effect holds up that well in Terminator 2, but it's okay. Given the time period that it came out in, I don't hold it against it.
Well, that whole like liquid metal look was the beginning of CG.
So, like, did you ever think the special effects, like it like when episode 2 or 3 came out, did you ever think that those special effects looked
I mean,
good?
there's shots in it that look good.
Mhm.
But I think that it was with episode 2 specifically that it's just I was too annoyed by everything that was like happening in it.
So when was
in
the
line
first,
delivery.
when was the first time that you thought like a CG effects heavy movie looked good?
Well, I'm not saying that like anything like looks bad, but I it was neat seeing what it was doing, but there's it's very much in the same way. I guess the time that I was convinced or I was like really blown away from like everything from beginning to end, that basically every shot except for maybe one like really connected with me is probably Fellowship of the Ring.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, like these days, like the troll, like the cave troll part is like the worst looking part of that movie. But
I haven't rewatched those in
actually,
quite a while, so I'm kind of nervous. Like I'm really nervous about like what if I rewatch it and all of a sudden Gollum looks bad because Gollum.
Oh,
was,
I feel like
flawless.
Gollum, like he's
at the
still.
time.
Well, yeah, I mean there's a reason that they don't show him very much in Fellowship.
Oh, they
also.
were still working on him. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I'm nervous about revisiting the other movies and like what if Gollum looks bad?
But I think that.
But there was a lot of
a lot of
miniatures.
Oh
a
yeah,
lot of practical effect and miniature sets. Like
well, that's what I think is so good about it. Is there's just so many. Like, well, I guess in the DVD extras they call them bigatures because they were miniatures, but they were gigantic, and that's really cool. Right. Like they built like all of like Gondor and stuff like that as a miniature, but it's enormous.
Final Fantasy Spirits Within, the CG does not hold up well per se, but considering like the whole world is that, like I feel like you get used to it as you watch it.
Yeah,
I don't think it's that bad of a movie.
It's weird because I mean I think that that's been a long time since I watched it.
It's a bad Final Fantasy movie. Like it doesn't feel like Final Fantasy at all, but it's got its merits. Like there's definitely a subset of like sci-fi fan who like kind of considers it a landmark sci-fi film.
Oh, come on. Yeah, I mean, I really liked Spirits Within when I saw. I saw it twice in the theater. I liked it so much.
I mean, I saw it twice.
There's only times where I wish that it just had like a little bit more Final Fantasy-ness to it.
Yeah.
Watching it, I was like hoping like maybe during the ending credits, at the very end of the ending credits, it'll play like the Final Fantasy like theme.
Yeah, I mean, Nobuo Uematsu did the music, I think, right?
Oh, I have no idea. It wouldn't surprise me.
I think he did. Like, I was like convinced that was like going to be like the best movie ever before I saw it. Like,
They're going hog wild with the bosses here. Look at this thing. What are you gonna do?
Like, I mean, a video game movie made by the people who make the games. Like, it was directed by Sakaguchi. The music, I think, was by Uematsu.
Mm-hmm.
you know, like it was made by Square. Like, I mean, a newly created division in Hawaii, but still, like it was made by Square.
Its failure like almost killed the company, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean
that's why they had to do like they did
that's
that.
why they merged with Enix. Like a big part of the reason that Sakaguchi like kind of left, I think.
I know a lot of people don't like Advent Children, but I feel like Advent Children like looks really good. Like
the thing that annoys me about Advent Children is that the new shots that they added for the Blu-ray release like clearly look like are obviously better.
Yeah.
That kind of bugs me. But yeah, like it's so weird that it was so un-Final Fantasy for something that was, you know, made by who it was made by, you know?
My favorite thing about Spirits Within is when before it came out on DVD, they were saying like they're to tout the power of the PS2. It's like you will be able to move the camera around. Yeah. And now you think about it, and it's like, yes, I could definitely see that. But at the time, after then, you get the DVD, and all you can do is like choose like different angles on stuff.
Yeah,
and that makes sense. But at the time, I remember thinking like, there's no way that they'll ever be able to do that.
Yeah, well, there was.
And now you look at.
I think it was
remake, and it's definitely delivers on what you would think that promise.
When you go into the special features on the DVD, like it has Aki like walking around like a studio set or something. It's been a long time, but I remember it being something like that.
This guy's like not even difficult, and I've like died on him 4 times.
Getting careless. You know, Chad, are you talking about Shin Godzilla? Because I was actually kind of surprised by the CG in that as well, because like that was actually when that was playing in America in select theaters when
that was like the first time you came here.
Was it the first? No, it was. I feel like it was maybe the second time I went to your house. I don't. They could have been. I don't remember. But yeah, we went to see it like right when I got to your house, and like the beginning of that movie, you see like this like goofy looking monster come up out of the water. And like I'm in the theater, I'm like I like literally go because like I thought it was supposed to be a joke.
Well, it is like a joke, and then it's like,
a joke?
Oh yeah, I mean it's like trying to be a joke at first.
Are you sure?
Well, yeah, I mean that's why he has like those weird eyes and everything. Definitely, it's supposed to be kind of funny, but
it was real. Like I thought that like the whole setup, the way I was interpreting it was it was setting it up like, oh, like this is like a bad like movie or something like that. But it was like, then I was like, oh, like this is actually happening. I was like, oh, but it looks really bad.
I think it's supposed to just catch you off guard, especially since like stuff gets like pretty terrifying, like in that movie later on. Oh, come on.
Drum and I recently watched because it was
I'm wasting time here.
The new last year's Godzilla movie King of the Monsters.
Oh, yeah.
It was free with the HBO free trial on Amazon.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so you watched it? What'd you think?
We watched that and Kong Skull Island, since we hadn't seen those.
King of the Monsters, it wasn't bad, I didn't think.
Yeah, I thought it was good. Like,
and you really liked did you like the first one?
I really liked the first of that, you know.
I mean, a lot of people think they didn't.
Version of the Monster Universe. I thought the first one was awesome.
A lot of people really complain about the human characters in King of the Monsters as well. And
yeah, I mean, they weren't great, but they were fine. I like Sarazawa. I mean, he was in the first one too.
Yeah.
But I mean, the human characters were okay. The thing that like completely broke my immersion though was there's that part where the wife is talking to the husband with like all of the what's the organization called?
Oh, Monarch.
Yeah. She's like talking to them on that like big like multi-monitor screen. And like, you know, and she's like talking about like, you know, overpopulation and you know, blah 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 blah. And like when she's talking about this stuff, like B-roll of what she is talking about plays over, like she's having a Skype call with them.
I know.
And she's playing B-roll.
Yeah, she had it all queued up.
Laughing. It is way too much. It makes no sense. I mean, I get from like a storytelling perspective, like they're thinking like, oh, it has more impact if you show it, but it was so goofy.
I mean, I liked it a lot though. I liked the movie in general.
It was fun. It was fun. Like,
and like things like really get really wrecked in that movie. And I like the whole twist on, you know, you think like, I mean, I guess using like the original like Monster Zeros being from outer space, I like the idea of that.
I liked you know what it made me think of was Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah,
like
I
they
can
were
see that.
kind of talking about how like the Titans are like, you know, part of the natural Earth ecosystem, but Ghidorah is like from outside that ecosystem. And it kind of made me think of like the weapons.
Right.
And then like, I don't know if the weapons mobilized when like Genova originally fell, but like Genova was like similarly like this outside threat to the planet and how it works.
Right.
So I thought that was kind of interesting. Like, and I wasn't sure if like any of the original Japanese like lore can like be pieced together that way, but I thought the way they did that was pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. I thought it was good. It did not do well, I guess, in terms of.
But it
hopefully
like the thing was like the human characters were not necessarily that interesting.
But
like,
they never are. In
like
Godzilla
the movie,
movies, anyways.
Yes, I feel like the movie did a good job of embracing, you know, just like, yeah, we know you just want to see the monsters fight, you know?
Yeah.
And like they did a really good job of like, oh, who's it gonna be next, you know?
Yes.
So it was like it was fun. It was fun. You know, I gotta say that like both that movie and the previous American Godzilla, like maybe have like the most satisfying final blows that I've ever seen in a movie fight scene.
Yeah, I can see that too.
Like like the kind of thing that just like makes you laugh and feel like yeah at the same time.
Right.
Like it's both of them are pretty fantastic final blows. Like I can't think of anything that just like literally made me be like, whoa, I can't, you know? Like every fight scene always tries to have a cool finisher. But those like really pull it off. Yes, I know.
I mean, I know that
it was good.
The next one is Godzilla versus King Kong, but I wonder if like they're gonna have to team up at some point.
I mean, well, I was reading about the planning for that, and the director said like he wants there to be a definitive winner. So,
well, yeah, I mean,
like here's the thing, like it was ridiculous enough that King Kong beat Godzilla in the the old like 60s or whenever it released Godzilla versus King Kong. But like you look at this current Godzilla and the current King Kong, like there's just zero possibility that King Kong could beat Godzilla. how is that even a matchup? Like it cannot happen. I'd be really curious too how they compare in size. I mean, King Kong is pretty big, but
well, they made King Kong
Godzilla
bigger than he's like supposed to be.
Godzilla's pretty big in these new movies too.
Yeah. Dang it. I mean, I feel like I'm close to the end. This is like the last island, I think. I feel like I have to stay with it if I'm going to try and finish it. I've come too far. If only I didn't have to jump on these enemies 3 times to actually kill them.
Yeah, some seem to only take 2 though. Like you, like each time you hit them, just like pounds them into the ground a little bit more.
Right. Come on. It's like they just feel so unpredictable. If I had my stupid egg, it would be fine. It's funny because his attack just like looks like it's completely detached from him. Like I mean, look at this punch. He can't. He's throwing these punches and he couldn't look more bored about it.
I mean, it's exactly how Psycho Fox's punch looks.
Yeah. I mean, he's like, okay, I'm just throwing punches.
He's not really putting anything into it. I wonder if this is the only video game that this anime series ever got.
It looked like it based on the Wikipedia. This is so stupid. Like it's not that hard. It's just
looks like the xenomorph coming out of his chest.
That's true. That's a good way to put it.
This kind of reminds me of the last level of the arcade version of the New Zealand story, which which had like a lot of these. Like, I mean, it doesn't look nearly as bad, but like almost the whole level in that was like one tile wide ice blocks that you had to jump on. It was awful. I don't know if it's a popular opinion, but I still think the NES is the best version of that game.
Oh, God. Like, why are these things like messing with my head so much?
You know, I can't help but look at your turban and think it looks like a Moogle. Like, do you see it? Like the jewel is like the nose, and like especially when you're running, like the folding kind of looks like a Moogle's eyes.
A little bit, I could see that. I would never have seen that if you didn't say something about it.
You know, I gotta say, I really did not like the teddy bear ears on the Final Fantasy VII Remake Moogle.
Yeah, I did. I like the Trials of Mana Moogle though. When you get Moogled.
You know, I don't. I'm sure I must have got Moogled at some point, but it didn't happen very much. I don't remember what it looked like. I think the best Moogles in a main series game are probably 9.
So, have you actually watched that video I've been trying to get you to watch, the action button review of Final Fantasy?
I have not.
You've got to watch it. Has anybody in the chat watched action button? What is his name? Tim Rogers' review, 3 hours and 18-minute long review of Final Fantasy VII Remake, because it is incredible. I think that he's basically the funniest person on the internet. There's something about him. His speaking, his delivery style, and just like his like use of words.
How would you characterize his take on the game?
I mean, there is a lot of. I mean, he criticizes a lot of stuff that I would have never really even thought about. But I mean, he liked it enough to have played through it 4 times. But I mean, and 3 of those times he started from scratch. I mean, he played it from scratch. But it is a great video, and I feel like it's 3 hours and 18 minutes long, and I think that I've watched it at least 3 times. In the past week, because I like, if I just like have a little bit of downtime, I will just go to it and I will just like randomly click someplace on the playback and just start watching it, and probably watch it for like 45 minutes or so.
Well, I'll try.
You just need to make time to watch it, because there is just like so much funny stuff in there that every time every time that I've watched it, I've like laughed at something else.
I
mean, that is incredible for a video that is that long to have like that kind of staying power. I think.
I think the last review of his that I watched was the one he did for Crackdown 3, which is a game that gets a lot of hate, but he really liked it, and like his take on the game kind of sells me, because he's like, "Do you like N64 games?" I'm like, "Yeah."
After the stream, I'm gonna watch some of it with you. I'm gonna make you watch some of it. But it's funny because he's explaining into it, and he's like, "We love Final Fantasy VII because Barrett has a machine gun for an arm and calls Midgar a pizza." Just the way that he did, like every time.
He's not wrong.
But his big thing is true. Is he talks about like how many like little trinkets there are to find, and how eventually you just find yourself going down the wrong path that the character then your party members are going down, because you know that it's going to take you to an item, and it just like totally breaks any kind of immersion for it. And he just like he does this. It explains the very lead up to the end, like the fight with Sephiroth in Shinra Tower, or the whole reveal of Sephiroth in Shinra Tower. And he's like, you're moving the camera with like, this is your path that you can take cannot be any more clear or glittery, and yet you're changing the camera to like look for hidden tchotchkes down the hall. And he's explaining that when you go to am I at the beginning of the level again? Jeez. Like you go down the like it stuff is far enough out of the way to make you think that it should be like something, like it should be something better than it is. And he's like, 4 hours into the game, you're already turning the camera before you have even played out the animation of you opening the treasure chest, because you're just like over it. But your brain is bored, but you can't stop doing it.
Honestly, like every time I picked up a treasure chest, like sometimes I would like realize that I was like so zoned out that I never even paid attention to what I got.
Right, exactly. And half the time you don't even,
because like you're right. Like it's not special. Like hunting for that stuff. Like you just don't really care. I mean, yes, very much what you brought up with Trials of Mana,
yes,
and like all the things.
Right. But just his delivery is, I mean, like I think that he is the funniest person on the internet.
The line that I always remember from the Crackdown 3 review was he was talking about like, like just he's like, you do a lot of jumping in this game. They should have called it Verticops. I just really like the name Verticops.
Yeah.
Verticops.
I don't think I'm going the right way. But if people have not watched it, it's basically spoiler free for like 3 hours of the video.
Oh, okay.
And only has spoilers like in 18 minutes. I mean, yeah. But the amount of stuff that he recorded for it, I mean, he played through it 4 times, he said. And he color-coded every single clip so that he could get right down to the frame how much time he spent doing in menus. I mean, I can't even explain it like anymore. I feel like you just need to watch it.
The thing that was weird to me about the Final Fantasy VII Remake menu was like I never was entirely comfortable with the idea of equipment and materia being on the same screen, and I don't know why. Like you would think that would make sense, but something about like you hit triangle to then go into your materia, like I don't know.
What is
like,
this? I have like a whole subscreen of stuff that like, can I use? Well, that didn't do anything. I started counting down
what
something.
If using those colored things just gives you 1-ups?
I mean, it's like, I don't know what they're saying. I mean, what do the pills do? I don't know what these things do. Can anybody explain to me what these things are? Can you go to like is there a game facts of this? We can find out what all this stuff is.
Let's see.
I can't use the pills. Or maybe it's just telling you what it is. What's the S? Is that for speed? Oh, it gives me like way longer reach. I mean, that could have come in handy on some bosses. They don't last for very long though, so I'm not sure how it's like really even worth it.
For some reason, I'm getting bad gateway when I search on game facts. That's weird.
Let's see what this does. That's high jump, I think.
I still don't understand what that timer thing is. Oh, is that like...
That's how long it lasts for.
Oh, so you've accidentally used that stuff before.
I don't know what this does. That kills all the enemies on the screen? Are you kidding me right now?
And you can scroll with it. That's like kind of awful, actually, the way it looks.
Yeah.
Especially with the background you're on, the background with the blue and the red.
Like, I wonder what the blue does. That gives me a force field around me.
Back to my best Moogle talk. Possibly the best Moogles of all, though. Even outside the main series or inside the main series, might be Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles.
Oh, it's this guy again.
Did the HD version of that get a physical release?
Of what?
Crystal Chronicles.
It's not out yet.
I think it is out.
I think it comes out this week. Or not this week,
Oh.
at the end of this month.
Oh, people have been talking about it, so I thought it was out. Evil East Moogles are weird. They're okay. They're like skinny and lanky. They're okay.
I wonder what the yellow does. Whoa! It's like a heat-seeking missile. What's the green do?
I like the Final Fantasy.
Oh, that stops everybody.
I like Final Fantasy 14 Moogles. The Final Fantasy 11 Moogles are good, but they're pretty, by the numbers. They're very much a 3D interpretation of like the Final Fantasy 6 Moogle.
I have one life left. Great. Waste all this time, like...
Oh, Crystal Chronicles comes out August 27th? For some reason, I thought I saw, like, people talking like they were playing it already. Huh. Oh, well.
I'm only going backwards because I know that I'm going to have to find whatever item that I need for the level.
But I do like Final Fantasy 14 Moogles. There is a Moogle boss who has a song that is fantastic. Good King Moggle, in case you were wondering.
I wasn't, thanks.
Good King Moggle, good King Mog, something, something. Good King Moggle, good King Mog, something, 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 something. It's good.
But so there's no anything on this.
Well, I searching on GameFAQs was broken. I mean, actually, now I can't even go to GameFAQs at all. I mean, I'll just search for magical hat.
Come on, it's like ducking. It's like
Mega Drive items.
I mean, I want to know how close I am. Because I got to go all the way back here. Okay, so when it's like game over, then I lose all my items. I had a lot of extra lives, though. I went through them quickly.
I can't find anything.
Oh, shoot! I'm gonna get careless, I think now. Can you see if there's a video to see like how much I have left after this level? Because I mean, if there's gonna be like 2 more worlds, I probably won't try to finish it.
Is there a password system?
There is not. I wish there was.
Are you gonna leave it on?
I don't know. I generally don't leave my systems on at night anymore. But I guess if I had to, I would.
I haven't done it in a while, but I've done it.
It's so stupid that I didn't even realize that there's a whole menu if I just hit the button. Like it's literally just the A button. It's not like hitting start or anything. It's just press an A. I like that Josh Almickey says, "Aw, come on," every time that I say it. That is dedication. Thank you.
Have you fought the boss at the end of this world before?
No. I just got to the
but
the stupid thing that.
I mean, but there is a boss. Okay, so then
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's weird.
It does give you a lot of 1-ups.
Looks like the first one.
I think I fought to the boss at the end of this level. I beat the boss on this level. It's that like rooster thing. I wonder what that says at the bottom of the screen.
Well, I'm only seeing like 2, maybe 3 levels after this level, and only 1 more boss. Or when I say this level, are you back at the beginning of the world?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So like after this ice world, there's not a lot left. Like it's weird because it shows them playing what looks like.
Oh, come.
it shows them playing what looks like the first level again. Then there's like a really short cave level, and then like a longer cave level, and then the boss is at the end of that.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I'm falling apart, though. I don't know why. I mean, I feel like if I was to come back to it and start from the beginning, that I could probably get to this point and probably have a ton of lives.
Yeah, that's true. You understand the game a lot better now.
Yeah.
And now you know about items.
I'm curious if this like hurts. It does not hurt the boss. It goes away if you try to use it.
Oh, you've used a lot. You had a lot more items.
No, I game over. That's why.
Oh, you lost everything?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I thought all those items you had were like accumulated from the beginning of the game.
No.
So yeah, I guess if you did restart and you understood how to use items from the game, that could save you a lot.
Let's see how this goes. I might have to fill up my drink. The hero looks so bored when he's punching. Yeah.
Yeah. We were just commenting on that.
Let's see how this goes.
You would think that, like, all this time, the slot machine will have given you something at least once.
Nope. Not a single time has it given me anything. It's like playing real slots. Except for
except you did play real slots once and got enough money to buy your PS3.
Yeah. As like the first and last time I ever won of anything of significance. Of course, it's worth it. But
do you think over the years, though, you've lost that much money? Do you think your lifetime, because of that PS3 time, do you think your lifetime slot machine earnings are in your favor or not?
It's hard to say. I mean, over time, probably. I mean, I haven't played a lot of slots, and usually when I do, I only try to play like $20. It's really fun to play slots, but if you play more and like lose more than like $50, I feel like really like guilty about it and like bad.
Oh yeah,
it's like depressing.
Oh, absolutely. Like I would not.
The act of it is fun.
All.
Is fun for me at least.
Like I don't really understand the draw of gambling because
you might win and then what if you.
Yeah, but then how often actually do you?
Right.
Like you don't. So like I feel like it would inherently always be remembered as a negative experience.
Well, I think it's directly attributed to it depends on how much you had to drink. Probably.
Well, aesthetically, Decap Attack is an extremely different game, and the level design is also different as far as I know. But it's, mechanically the same game. Yeah, it's a more appealing art style, I would say, than Decap Attack. But Decap Attack is interesting.
Yeah, Decap it's
own way.
unique. Yeah, it does have an appeal to it. This is the part that just took me forever before. Get away from me! Come on, get off of me! I wish there was like a way to like skip those animations of that. Stupid.
Oh, falling?
Yeah.
It is really weird. Like, it doesn't look necessary.
Because it's not. It's cute the first few times you see it. It's like, oh, that's funny. But then that's it. Like, I don't understand these things. I struggle so much with them, and they're like, they're not that difficult, but it's just like I struggle with them.
Like, sometimes you just look like you run into an enemy.
Yeah.
You're just like, I mean,
his fist doesn't move fast enough.
It's because
he's lethargic about it. He's like, oh god, I gotta punch again. Are you serious right now? He's like, he just makes me punch with my disembodied arm. It's really, it moves through the air very smoothly.
Did Victor Kai make this game, or are they just a publisher? I always kind of thought of Victor Kai as just a publisher. I didn't.
Oh, Vic? Yeah.
Yeah.
Vic. I like to think of Vic Tokai as like some guy. Vic Tokai? I know that guy.
Yeah.
Vic Tokai, he's the guy. He's got it all figured out. This game has this the smoothest arm animation in any game that's ever been made.
Could you imagine a game that was like, you know, Final Fantasy VII graphical fidelity, except the only thing that was different about was just like the arms just moved like unnaturally, weirdly, and smoothly. But like everyone like had their totally normal animations, but their arms were just like just flying about smooth.
I hate those things so much. Alright, give me lots of one-ups, please. Which one? The middle three? 1, 2, 3. Let's do it. One up. One up. So 3 extra lives right there. I think each one of these are one-ups as well. I don't know what the building is, though. The classic noodle arm. It's this. Joshua Helmeke says it's the classic noodle arm.
Is that common old anime trope?
I guess so. Oh, he's using his noodle arm again. I got a case of the noodle arms.
Sometimes when you eat too much soba.
It's just like one of those like random things. Makes me think things that just like make no sense. An old friend of mine, I remember, like he was. I don't know what this had to do with, but I remember we had like been on our feet all day. We went someplace, and like he's like, "Man, my legs are tired. Like they're so numb. It feels like I'm walking on mayonnaise."
Walking on mayonnaise.
Yeah, of all things.
I feel like mayonnaise wouldn't necessarily have a particular feel to
I
it.
know, right?
I mean, it'd feel gross, but it wouldn't feel a lot different than that. I mean, I feel like if I had to like walk on mayo, ketchup, or mustard, like they would all feel about the same.
Yeah, I feel like
I would
mayo
prefer-
would be more slippery.
I feel like maybe it'd be more slippery, but it also feels like it would feel smoother. You know?
Yeah,
It might feel more pleasant.
I feel like it might feel more slippery.
I feel like I could see like mayonnaise being like, you know, some weird, you know, salon.
He's coming to get
therapy
me.
Or something, you know.
There it is. There's
like,
a sword. All right, now I just need to beat the boss. I got the sword.
What does the sword do?
It's just the item that I need to complete the level.
Oh, you can't complete the level without finding it. So is that the first time you found it?
Well, the sword, yeah. I mean, each level or each final level has an item
I see.
that I need.
So
or
if
else
you beat the boss without finding it, you find it after the boss?
you need to go back and find it in the level. Yeah.
Okay. But then you don't have to fight the boss again.
Right. I like this move here. That like really messes with you.
Yeah, it looks horrible.
I'm gonna use
Like, this is not what you want when platforming. I mean, it looks cool, but also horrible.
I'm just like I want to get to the boss and have the
sword.
well, not the sword, but the my little egg friend. Now that I have the sword, I don't have to do anymore.
Does the egg friend give you an extra hit?
I think if you're holding him when you get hit, but I don't think that's I don't know if that's always the case. I don't really know how to do. I don't understand how it works. Sometimes I get an extra hit, other times I don't.
Does he come back on his own, or do you have to like?
Yeah, he comes back on his own.
I'm guessing.
Here we go with the boss. Please don't be hard.
I'm guessing those characters that are on that flying contraption are like the Team Rocket of this anime. Probably like always coming around, causing trouble. bouncy genie jar makes me think of the genie boss in Link's Awakening. Although the character itself does not.
I have a feeling that if I touch him, it's... Please. See, I don't know how it even counts, I guess.
Oh no.
I know.
Oh no. You should have just gone for it and ran under him. I mean, I know you were on ice, but...
I know. Like, there's something up there. I feel like I should just, like, explore.
You need those fluffy things to jump off of? Like, I feel like if you, like, jumped off high and landed on that stick, that wobbly stick, you could, like, really get some momentum and fly far to the right.
Probably. But it probably doesn't even matter at this point. I wish I just knew what everything did.
You're moving fast? Or you were?
Can I use it during this, I wonder? Yeah. I feel like my punch is a lot stronger now.
Oh, than the egg? So he poofs away after 3 hits, it seems, no matter what. Like, does he do anything when he's out of the bottle?
No.
I mean, it might be risky even attacking him while you're on the ice because you might slide into him. Or do you still slide on the left side as well? You slide everywhere?
So it's three jumps. That's like 1, 2, 3.
Oh, he's like not going back in the bottle now.
Got him.
Whew. Whew. I wasn't feeling optimistic, I gotta say. I doubted you, I'll have to admit.
Getting him back in that bottle. Well, we're getting there.
Yeah, I think you're getting pretty close.
You're getting there. Landing directly on top of that pole, you can rack up a bunch of lives.
You mean any pole?
Yeah, how does that work? I haven't done it.
Yeah. I wasn't able to find like a walkthrough or anything
Oh!
for this game.
Holy cow.
You got something?
No bonus, it says. I don't know. I don't think I got anything. All right.
Well, maybe you get the item anyway, but you didn't get a bonus per se.
That does look like the first level.
Does that work in decap attack as well?
I don't know. Come on. Come on.
Is this literally the first level? Because it looks a lot.
It looks like the first level, right? Well, now I'm back at, it says 1. Usan.
Yeah, well, this is what I saw in the video I looked at as well. Like, he went through this level, and then like a very short cave level, and then a longer cave level that he fought the boss on, and that was it.
Okay. How did the last boss look in terms of difficulty?
I didn't really pay attention. He looked big. Is this the best Doki Doki like you've played? I don't know what you mean by Doki Doki like exactly. I mean, he's wearing the turban like the Doki Doki Panic characters. But otherwise I wouldn't say the game is very similar. Yume Kojo Doki Doki Panic. That's the full title. Yume Kojo Dream Factory.
I mean, obviously, I don't need to bring back the island together anymore, so I don't need to find any more of those items per stage.
Yeah, I mean, there's no boss until the end. I mean, who knows if you even need to find an item on the last level. I don't know.
What?
Yeah, it does look a little bonky.
It does.
The sort of the flat colors in the background.
Shoot, I was looking at the chat that time. This is the spiritual sequel to Psycho Fox or Sicko Fox, depending on which version you have.
Sicko Fox?
Yeah, it just has like the first print of it has a misprint on the label, on the game cartridge label. In the same way, you know, there's like Monopoly. You know about Monopoly, right?
No, I don't think so.
The on the Master System, the version, like the first print run of Monopoly on the Master System says Monopoly.
Monopoly.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure Psycho Fox had Sicko Fox on it.
Well, wait.
Without a Y.
So is it Monopoly like with
two
a
words?
space?
With a space and the M and the P capitalized.
Oh. Because I was stopping and thinking, wait a second, isn't that how you spell Monopoly?
Yeah, but yeah, you can look it up. Look it up. You can probably just put in Master System Monopoly.
Yeah. This is just the cartridge, I assume.
Yes.
No, the box art looks fine. Oh yeah, there it is, Monopoly. That's pretty good.
Look up the Psycho Fox. I'm pretty sure it's without the Y.
I've seen that before, but what's so it's just PSCHO Fox? That doesn't seem right.
You probably put in Psycho Fox misspelling or something like that.
Yeah.
I wonder if this game has ever been streamed on YouTube.
Oh, sure.
You say that with confidence, but damn bats.
There's no H in Psycho.
Oh, okay.
It's PSYCO. So you call it Sicko Fox?
Yeah. I guess what would you even call it then? Like
I mean, I would still call it Psycho Fox, but yeah, see that volcano in the background? It's very bonk.
yeah. You think that thing's erupting at some point in the game? I don't. It's not going to.
Probably not.
I'm gonna use these. I'm gonna use one of my pills because I hate these things. Where's my stupid guy? Where's my egg friend?
Not been this level at all, huh?
No, I didn't see him. I might have to fill up my water and pee. One up. One up.
I'll look up
Yeah, look up. See if you can find out anything about the.
I just want to get an idea for like the final boss. Is that what you want?
Yeah.
To look at.
I'm in a cave
How
now.
difficult he might be.
This really looks like Bonk. Like that looks like Bonk right there.
Oh, yeah. I can't tell if this is the last level or the second to last level because, like, there was a screen that looked like one of the mini games, but then it went back to a cave level, and it looked like the time spent here was very short.
This
So,
is kind of a
like-
drop. It looks like.
So, like, the boss is huge.
That's like stupid right there. The boss
So
is huge.
The boss is huge, but his body and legs and arms appear to not hurt you.
Huh.
I'm guessing his head does. His head is where you have to hit him. So you just jump and hit his head, and he very occasionally shoots out a fireball that chases you and doesn't appear to ever go away.
Does it look like it
So
could be
you-
easy? Oh.
Huh? It looks like it could be pretty easy. Like, he jumps a lot, but you don't appear to have to worry about like contact damage, other than I'm assuming his head.
Gee, this is like, that's silly. I don't know why this is hard, but it's just...
It's like those Mega Man jumps where like the screen scrolls down and then you have to like move away from all the spikes. Those are never fun.
Just gotta take it real slow. I mean, look at this movie he's doing.
Yeah, I was just thinking that too. It's like I wonder if that's a thing from the anime. Like it's interesting. I mean, it's just like the raccoon tail in Mario 3, but it's weird.
Yeah, he just like makes that funny face. Let's get lots of free lives here. Thought that guy was gonna kill me.
Oh, so this was a really short level, just like I thought. All right.
Ben Brody, take a look at the bottom of the screen in the description.
The description.
Yeah. Come on, give me lots of those S's. Nope.
That whole like engraving shape around the whole thing, I don't really get what that's supposed to be.
All right. Yeah, one more. That level was pretty short for sure.
No. And that first level, it seems like you should probably be able to get through it pretty quickly.
Yeah.
If you had to. This level seemed to take a good bit longer on that video I looked at. But I don't know if you have to like collect an item here or not.
I'm not seeing it. I mean, I don't know. Oh, is it? When's the PS5 event? Is it on?
Oh, I saw. I mean, it's early June. It's probably this week.
It's like June 5th.
I don't know
think,
if it was
right?
confirmed or if it was just.
No, they confirmed it. So is it June 5th? Is it happening? I thought that's when it was. Oh, June 4th.
Oh, no, I'll watch that for sure.
But yeah, I mean.
Hopefully, it's better than the Xbox event. I mean.
Well, yeah, I have a feeling that.
I mean, they did not communicate very well. Like that was not really meant to be a big event. Confirmed this Thursday. What time? This is indeed the Japanese version of Decap Attack. Basically.
It's called Doki Doki Decap Attack.
It's not. It is what was it? Magical Hat something Turbo Adventure?
Flying Hat. Magical Flying Hat.
No, it's magical Hat and then Flying Turbo Adventure.
Oh, what's this thing again? Why this thing again? Who is this guy?
Oh, I mean, I'm guessing that that's just like the annoying grunt that you always see in the anime or something. Yeah, I don't think anyone should set themselves up for expectations of backwards compatibility beyond PS4. I mean, I'm sure that the PS2 classics that you can play on PS4 will.
All right, here is this.
Playable?
Is this guy?
Is it huge? Yeah, it's this. So his body does not hurt you at all.
That's crazy.
Like you can just get up right up and punch him in the head. I mean, his head probably hurts you, I'm guessing. Like, you probably want to do it pretty quickly because I don't know if those fireballs go away.
Yeah,
like
it just
they
went
chase
away.
you. Yeah, so maybe you can be careful. I don't know. You should probably be careful. Careful is good. But at one point, it looked like 2 fireballs were chasing. Video, but it didn't take him all that long. Seems like an easier boss than a lot of the others.
Right?
I mean, I think you would honestly be fine even if you didn't have your egg on this one.
Well, I would have just died there. We're gonna find out for sure now, huh? I died. It's like not even, it wasn't even that hard. And then, like, I failed at the very end there.
Was that game over?
No. But I think it takes me all the way back to the beginning of the level.
Well, you got there pretty quick. You got this. You got this. When did you get your egg?
I don't know.
Was it this level or was it a previous level?
No, it's this level. I can't believe, like, that.
You had that.
I know I had that. So stupid. Okay, so here's, can you, how do you get the extra lives on here? Oh, there's, interesting. Okay, look at this. If you land directly on top of it, you can get like lives for as many.
Oh, well, no wonder that one thing you read said you're playing the game wrong if you don't have 99 lives by level 4. Oh, well, that's easy. I hope you can do that in Decap Attack. Does anyone know if you can do that in Decap Attack? Because if you can, then I'm much less scared of the game.
Well, this is making me much less scared of this now. If we just get like unlimited lives, I don't have to worry about game overs anymore. I just heard a noise. Oh. Someone became a sponsor.
Oh, thank you. A YouTube member, I believe.
Thank you.
In Charlotte, we've got Video Game World. There's 2 locations of those currently. The Huntersville location is the original and main location. Oh, so does that, like, it loses a color each time you get a 1-up?
Yes, I think that was the case.
So they are somewhat limited. I see. That's cool. Video Game World in Huntersville is probably the best. They also have a location in Concord. They used to have a few other locations.
A location in where? Concord?
Concord or Concord. I'm not sure. I've heard I've heard that town name in different states. Depends on which state you're in, whether they say Concord or Concord. I think people around here say Concord. There's a place called Gamers Alley that has, I believe, 2 locations. I don't really know how to describe where they are. They're more on the western side of Charlotte. They're pretty good. There's Save Point Video Games, or near in the UNCC area. They're smaller but good. There's a place in Lincolnton. I haven't been there in a couple of years. I hope it's still there. Called Game Swap or Video Game Swap, I think it might be.
I'm going to try this on this guy, see what it does.
Sometimes they're pretty good. And kind of near where Save Point is, near UNC Charlotte, is The Grid, which is a very different and interesting store. It's operated by Goodwill, and they sell like a lot of, computer stuff, TVs, projectors. It's not like dirt cheap Goodwill pricing necessarily, but it's sort of a more of a curated, nicer selection. But you can find interesting stuff there, and oftentimes they do buy 2 get 1 on all video games, which can be a really good deal sometimes. They have a lot of like PS2, like PS2, PS3, Xbox 360, like original Xbox. They got a lot of that kind of stuff. And then they have like a case up front that usually has some decent stuff in it. But it's a very different store. You can find some surprising things there, especially if you look in the not necessarily video game section.
All right. I got my guy again.
Like the not amazing webcam that I'm using. It was like $7 at the Grid. There you go.
Found my guy again. My little egg. The executioner, we call him.
Yeah, we've actually got, within, the radius around Charlotte, quite a decent selection of stores. Oh, the 1-ups didn't come back.
No, that's okay. You get like 10 lives though. I got like 10 lives out of it, or 12 lives or something like that.
I really don't know why there's a fairly large number. I mean, I don't know how it compares to other states. I mean, Ohio and Kentucky definitely have a lot, in your area as well.
What?
Retro game stores.
Yeah. I mean, they're definitely.
But then there's definitely states and areas where there's just not much of anything. There used to be a place in South Charlotte that had it was an interesting store. I never bought much there. I guess where I found Power Blade. But it was like kind of like, I would say like 60% like old toys and 40% video games. Oh yeah, Concord Pike Funkoland, Retro Morgan. That's where my $35 Earthbound came from back in the day. I got my Earthbound there. I got my Link to the Past there. I got a few other things there, but I did not go to that one as much.
I don't understand like how I messed this up. I don't understand.
I went to the one on what was it, Kirkwood Highway, I think is what the road was called.
I guess it's excruciating for the chat to like watch me do this. Like, especially since I came so close to beating them the first time. And then I just died with that stupid... Like, the thing is, like, not even that hard.
I don't think I've ever been to a McKay's Books. I know that Matt from Insurrection got at the McKay's in Winston-Salem, he got like some insanely rare GameCube basketball game. I didn't know this was a thing. Like there's some basketball game on GameCube that like I think was like produced and then not officially shipped. And it's like I guess the most expensive game on the system. And like he found one there for like $30. Which is like a really weird price because you would expect like if they didn't know what they had, like a random sports game, like it would be cheaper than that. But they also didn't price it for like hundreds of dollars. So if I had seen that, I would have completely passed it up, not knowing that it was something interesting. But I mean, if I had known and saw that for $30, like there's no way even I could have passed that up. I've never. Oh, thank you for becoming a YouTube member, Marcos Gonzalez.
Thank you. Okay.
So yeah, I would have. I was surprised to hear about that, but I've never really had like a crazy find at like a bookstore style store outside of like Book Off in Japan. Which are very good. I mean, they're each one sort of has a different character in terms of what you might expect to find there. You know, some didn't really have like Famicom or Super Famicom.
Oh, the hitboxes. What the heck? I know.
I mean, it you know, I don't know if that exact timing of that hit was fair, but I do think you were gonna die with that situation anyway. Why didn't you have your egg?
Because I died like before that. I died when I shouldn't have. I mean, it's dumb.
But I've not really done a lot of game shopping at like the bookstore style stores because there aren't any around here to my knowledge that have like old video games. Other than like Second and Charles, but those are never amazing either. Second and Charles just opened up like less than a year ago here near me. And there was another one in the area where I assume still is, but it was a little further away. So I only went there once. Although that's where I got my Dragon Quest IV.
This level's not that long if you didn't know exactly where you're going.
Or I should say Dragon Warrior 4, rather. I mean, I've never used an EverDrive just because, like, I didn't want to put wear and tear on an old game, or a rare game. I mean, I don't have anything like super extraordinarily rare. I mean, I guess the craziest thing I own is Shantae. But like, I have full intention of using that cartridge. I have used it. I mean, certainly I've got things on my EverDrive that I have no expectation of owning because they're so expensive, but I generally don't find the motivation to play through a game I don't own. I mean, I don't feel like putting a cartridge in my system is really doing that much wear and tear. I mean, they've held up pretty well so far over many, many years. Lots of cartridges. So no, like if I bought a rare cartridge, I would use it. But I got the Japanese version of Crusader of Senti. Ragna Senti.
Yeah, just because that's really the only. That's the only option.
Yeah.
Did you didn't buy that in Japan, or did you buy that?
I bought that like immediately after finishing the Mega SG episode, because I was completely I'd never tried it. Like I didn't even know what kind of game it was. I knew it was like an extremely rare Mega Drive game, but I never really looked into it. And I tried it out, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need this. So I bought it. I mean, it's like,
I gotta walk away from it for a second. I don't know why I'm having such a stupid time with it. I have to go to the pee.
Go fill up your water.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully if I stick with the Japanese that I'm just like less than 2 weeks into attempting self-study, I can maybe actually play my real Ragna Senti cartridge. Well, thanks for joining the YouTube membership crazy bingo. But similarly, like Newtopia, Japanese version very cheap, American version not cheap. I'd like to get the Japanese version. This is really the first time I've tried to commit to learning Japanese. Like I did, like, I don't know, like 5 or 6 years ago, I tried like some katakana flashcards, but didn't stick with it. But it's been what I've done so far has been fun. I've just been doing it like when I'm eating and taking a little break. It's been fun so far. Joshua Helmke, I don't know how people become members. I don't know anything about that system. Perhaps someone in the chat can tell. Donations are just disabled for today. If you look at the descriptions, just thought with everything being crazy out there, Coury just thought, he said, maybe we should suggest people to look into other uses of their money for this week. But we'll probably have it activated again next week. Is there a game I would try to play immediately on the Famicom if I thought I was proficient? I mean, I'd definitely like to replay Sweet Home, like in its, original version. That's one of the few fan translations I actually played all the way through. Oh, thanks for checking that video game obsession. Now I'm much less scared of Decap Attack. I got Lagrange Point, which is an interesting game because it's it's the one and only VRC7 Konami chip for Famicom. I mean, and again, that's a game that has a fan translation, but there's something about fan translations. Like, I don't know what it is, but it's just like, there's just something that, like, even though I love the idea of it, and every time I hear of one for a game I like, that I'm like, oh yes, that's great. I'll play that someday. And then do I? Not usually. And I think like just that slight step further removed from it being the real thing is what holds me back. And that's just me. That's just my personal hang up. Translations on an original cartridge, I mean, that is cool. And that is like even still a step closer, but it's still just that little niggling thing in my brain that's just like, oh, but it's not real. Police Knots would be very high on my list for sure. And heck, I could get like a cheaper version of Snatcher, like PC Engine or something. I mean, obviously a million things on Super Famicom and PS1. Those two systems especially. Lots of stuff. The Goemon games on PS1, I've not played through those. None of them have fan translations. I've got them all, but I haven't played them. Yeah, just knowing it's not legit, like, just sort of holds me back from, like, dedicating to it. Like, I'll, like, maybe poke at it on an EverDrive or something, but, like okay. Buying the real game, putting it in my system, like, that is commitment. I've spent money. I've pulled it off the shelf and put it in the system. It's a commitment.
Yeah.
That's what motivates me to see it through to the end. Like, it's just there's nothing wrong with.
I mean, I'm the same way.
There's nothing wrong with not feeling that way. And it's just everyone has their own little things that motivate them, and that's just like owning the game and playing the actual copy that I own is part of my motivation and
it's part of your life in gaming.
It's part of my life in gaming.
I saw someone in our Discord said that, and I was watching it since I think this morning. The Game Boy video hit 1 million views today.
Today? What wasn't it just yesterday that you said
there was 100 views left?
Oh, I thought there were 900 left.
No, there's.
I guess I saw it wrong.
No, there was 99 views left.
Oh, okay.
To hit 1 million.
Wow. 1 million views.
Isn't that crazy?
It is crazy. It's too bad the GBA Consolizer not in it. But and I guess there have been like some new screen things. I mean, to be honest, I have not really been following like the new screen mods and stuff. Like, if we ever had an opportunity to just like borrow all those, like, it'd be a fun video to do. I just don't even know what I would want. Like, if I wanted one for myself, like, I don't know enough about it.
Right. 1 million views.
1 million views.
Remember how you were done with it and you really wanted to get that ending shot from Super Mario Land?
Yeah.
And you like played it through.
I played through the whole thing just to get that shot for real.
At the very end.
Yeah.
Like when you were done, you wanted that shot. And when you think about it, like, isn't it, you won't regret not getting that.
No. Like, I was like, like I could not spend 30 minutes beating Super Mario Land and risk possibly like not, like I had to set up the shot beforehand and make sure it was like focused and everything was perfect. I had to, I moved the Game Boy so I could comfortably play.
Stupid.
And then, I had to quickly put it under and like be sure that it was going to like be in the correct position. But I was like,
but now that it's been seen a million times, it was totally worth that 30 minutes.
It was worth it. It was worth it.
I mean, imagine if you didn't do it and you're like, man, I wish I had done that for.
I know.
If I knew that video.
I was actually tempted to like use the music from it instead of our own ending theme because it's such good music. But I was like, no, I'll use our music. But it's just, I love that music. I love that ending. And like, I had felt like I had put so much of myself into that video that like, it felt like closure to the whole project.
Oh,
you know? Like doing the ending that I wanted to do felt like closure that I needed.
Yeah.
Like I felt a little emotional. I did, because that one, I mean, that was a big project. It was big. I mean, I was thinking about that earlier today. Like when I finish Analog Frontiers, like I feel like I'm going to just like break down.
No, I mean, I know you felt like that after the first one, the first episode even.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I felt after M2. Like, I wonder if you even need to kill this guy.
You mean if he just goes away?
Yeah.
I bet you have to deal a certain number of hits. Chris Covell is asking who tape recorded Super Mario Land any music back in the day. I don't think I ever did, but I definitely used the Super Game Boy to make my own Kirby soundtrack tapes.
There he goes. See, he just went away after a little while.
Really?
I'm gonna try using the Super Punch if that helps. Oh, I don't have any more Super Punches left. Oh wait, no, it's the high jump.
I always get Hip Tanaka and Taka or whatever, the guy that inspired KK. I always get them confused. So I forget who did what.
I hate last bosses.
This one doesn't seem so bad.
Finally, please not have a second form.
Hirokazu Tanaka. Or wait, no, that's Hip Tanaka. I think Kazumi Totaka. Kazumi Totaka. That's, yeah. I get them confused.
What an ending. It's just the shop screen saying something. I guess it does have some credit.
Like, it literally... Sugiya the Monster was the producer.
Programmer, Dr. Suzuki. It's your boy, Dr. Suzuki, back again with another Psycho Fox-like game.
An obscure accessory video? I mean, it depends on what we have access to. Game Dave did a very good video a few years ago about the Famicom machine gun.
Mm-hmm. You see, Scott Davis is saying next ad lib we should do is the video game music challenge, like GameSack did. That could be a lot of fun.
He did it as a video?
Yeah, he just did like all 30 of them in one video.
Well, that's cool.
That could be a fun ad lib just to like go back and forth and do it.
Yeah, we'd have to make our lists ahead of time, of course.
Oh yeah, exactly. But I think that would be fun for us to talk about it, and just so it'd really be 60 choices. I bet we could do that, and I bet you it would be super easy to do. And I think that something like that would have a lot more of an appeal than the game related ones.
Is that video game music thing like overstayed its welcome at this point though? I haven't really paid attention.
No, Joe released the video today on it. It's like a month-long thing if you actually go and do it.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if it was like something that was like happening like for just this month, or if it's something you're supposed to do, you can do anytime.
But I think we could do that. I mean, would you think people would like to see that? I think that people would like to see that. It'd be fun. It'd be a fun like response, and we could even just like acknowledge other choices. Because I know that John's been doing it on his Twitter.
Mm.
It'd be fun to hear what we both come up with. We come up with our selections without telling each other.
Yeah.
If you have some downtime, if you have some downtime, like start throwing some ideas together. Like I'll send you the list, and just see what we can do. I bet we could just sit there and just talk about it, and it wouldn't even be anything that even needs to be edited. That heavily.
Well, you'd have to put the music in.
Right, but I don't think it'd be that hard.
But then you also think about it, and how many games would you need like B-roll of like 60 games?
I don't think that'd be too hard, depending on what they is. But I think it'd be super easy. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah, it would be. I haven't looked at like the full list of requirements for it, like, you know, what each day is, so to speak. The challenge is just like name, you know, all it is like 30 days of you pick a video game theme that you like that fits such and such criteria, you know.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know what an example is.
But I think it'd be interesting to see what we'd pick, and if we didn't tell each other what we picked ahead of time.
One Man Grove, this is the Japanese version of Decap Attack. It's just got a completely different theme. And I believe the level designs are different, but it is the same game, fundamentally.
Oh, there's that guy. There isn't a translation. But maybe, I could see us doing that.
Oh my gosh, I just realized it's almost 1 o'clock.
I know.
I had no I didn't even know it was like that much after midnight.
Yeah, I should have beat the game 40 minutes ago. Honestly, I should have beat it actually like an hour ago.
I like completely missed it.
Well, I mean, like maybe we'll throw some stuff together. I don't think that'd be that hard. I think it'd be like a one-off video. I think it'd be fun. I am planning on doing an ad lib with Joe though, where we're going to talk about that fantastic new Phantasy Star translation that was released.
Oh. But that's not what's next.
That's not what's next.
Scripted episodes are next.
Yeah. But if we do this music thing, I mean, I could slip that in probably someplace. Anyways, I think that's going to do it for tonight.
Yeah.
Thanks for everybody for hanging out. And we will see you next week. And I think that hopefully it'll be a special episode midweek at some point. If I can make it happen quick enough. I think I can.
Keep an eye out.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Later.